Okay, hello guys, how's it going? It is Hi the Real Randy Chavez. I'm coming at you today with a Veve Omi update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. I love you all. Everyone say, where's Dashy? Where is Dashy? I don't know. So, thank you all for being here. I have a couple of things to go over. I'm not 100% sure why it says 0 on my viewed right here. Okay, it says 49. This is a little better. I did sell my ultra rare Spider-Man for Omi. I thought that, hey, and it wasn't just a normal ultra rare, it was a sub 100 ultra rare. And my ideas behind this was that, and if you were here this morning, you should know, is that let's say it was like 10,500, give or take for that particular one. For a normal ultra rare Spider-Man. Actually, I'll go look right now, just to see. It is not loading. Okay, there we go. So we're gonna go for about, let's say 10,500. Usually for the ultra rare, a sub 100 will be about 4x what the normal ultra rare is. So the ultra rare, taking a look at it right now, is it's about 10,000 right now. So I would say about 40,000, between 40 and 42,000 should be the sub 100s. Now, if you go and look at the sub 100s, there actually is number 79 for 35,000. And that one for 35,000, that's been there for like a week or two. It's been there for a while. So obviously nobody's getting it. I actually posted my ultra rare Spider-Man for like 26,000. I think for a day, maybe less than a day, and nobody took it. So I was like, maybe that's a sign. I took it off, even though if I would have gone and bought that, or somebody would have bought that, or if I would have left that up there, somebody would have bought it within a day. So I said, okay, that's probably a good one. And then I go and I see, I get an offer. It's like, how much did you sell this for? I was like, okay, well, about 2.4 million, it would be about 65% of that 26. And they're like, well, what about like 1 point whatever? I was like, no, maybe 2.2, just because you're a friend. But speaking of which, I'll probably I might have a guest on. I might have a guest on in a few minutes. I don't know though. So it's on live stream just in case I do have that guest on. And they make a final offer and they say, okay, 2 million. And I think about it for a minute. I was like, well, 35% off was 2.4 million already, and I went down to 2.2 because they were a friend, and 2 million. So I really started to think of this. Should I take this deal? And because what is 2.2 million? That's, let's say, like 15,000, a little over $15,000, give or take. Because we're at 0.00, or it was 2 million. Sorry, 2 million Omi. So it's about $14,000 because Omi's at 0.007. So okay, $14,000. If we go from 0.007 to 7 cents, that's a 10x, and that's $140,000. It's like, okay, well, I definitely see us getting there, by April. But I did not see that sub 100 Spider-Man getting to 100, even the sub 100s. I do not see that getting there by April. So for me, it made sense to go and sell that. Now, you see in the thumbnail, there are 2 other things that I have for sale as well. Well, I do want to replace that, Spider-Man. I won't get another sub 100 because the cheapest is 30-something thousand. So I said I won't do that. But what I will do is I will go and buy a floor Spider-Man. Buying a floor Spider-Man would be, again, $10,000. So if I can sell that, a Fantastic Four #1, I will totally do that because, again, paying $10,000 is fine. I will do that for an ultra rare. If I can do that, and I could probably get a Goofy as well, and then that's probably about it. I probably can. Now, is there a point to me getting the ultra rare Spider-Man? Because I can't complete the set because I don't have the secret rare anymore? I don't know. I do not know. Let me know if you guys. And by the way, if the guest does, I'll get to comments now early because if the guest does come, I might not be able to get to all the comments. Enlightened Indigo says it's about to go down with Veve, world champion, back with some fire live stream vids. Big flex. Drop them likes. Thank you, Enlightened. Thank you. Actually, I'm going to go and do that myself. I'm going to go onto the YouTube. I'm going to go onto my channel, and I'm going to go to the videos, and I'm going to smash that like button. If everyone can smash that like button, that'd be great. Free way to help support the channel. So yeah, I think comics will be very, very big. I think that the Fantastic Four Secret Rare #1 can be $100,000. Okay, well, Chavez, why would you sell now for 16,900? Well, I do want I want Goofy, before he gets to 10K. Will Goofy be $30,000 or $40,000? Will that, probably not. I don't think it will be. I don't think it'll get to where Walt is, at least not yet. I do believe that'll be 10,000, and more. But also you have to think that as we get greater and greater things, as we get greater and greater drops, some of these might not go like this, and they might go, like this. They might go slowly. They might grow. The rate at which they grow will be probably much slower. So I do think the comics will outperform the things that I want to get. But at the end of the day, well, I want to get I've already done so much stuff for Omi. I already have so much. I'm going to go and probably, I won't need that much. And I have a bunch of Omi inside the app so that I can buy the stuff that I want. Hopefully that we have Omi to NFT, and hopefully Omi's Moon by that point. But like I said, Pokemon, a lot of Nintendo, some Star Wars, and some Land. But we shall see. And I'm just doing it because I want Goofy and I want the Marvel Mighties, and I don't, I got these comics because they are great investments and they've already made me money. So I figured, why not? I've already made some money. I'll go buy what I want. Obadiah says, good title, Ashley. Thank you. Royce Darbone, what's going on? Jim Farrow says, picked up a common alligator Loki, number 531 for 85. Get it, brother. Jim Farrow says, also just bought first appearance Harley Quinn for 729. Nice. It's good. What's up, Roble? Paul says, Evening, Randy. How's the weather? We've seen some bot talk / crackdown recently. How much % of the user base could these could be these bot accounts? I don't know. I don't know who has those numbers. I don't know. Alex is like for marketing. Reese is like the. I don't know who to get on the I don't know who to get on the Akomi side. Like if I would get them on an interview, hey, what's going on with this? Like if let's say I got Noah, would Noah know? Would Reese know? Like, in what department does that lie? I don't. Like I said before on my stream, I wish that people would not do it because it is not fair, and you should strive to do what's right and not do anything wrong. But I can sit here on my high horse and say that all I want because I live a relatively comfortable lifestyle, and I have that thing in the future where, okay, well, I need to keep a squeaky clean reputation just in case that not that I never run for office, but just in case I go and I, want to ask for people's help at some point, where other people like, okay, they're never going to do that. They're never going to want to need anyone's help. And maybe they don't have as much money, so they would have no issue going and getting a bot, getting something, selling it immediately, and then selling gems. Like let's say you put $40 in so you can get this drop. You get the drop, you get a Goofy, and then what happens? Okay, well you sell them for $3,000, sell it at 50% discount rate. Hey, I just made $1,500. Not bad for a day's work. It's really not. So I can say all I want that bots are bad, but other people are going to do that because unfortunately crime does pay. If they don't care about the collectibles, and they don't care about really what happens to the account because they're really just there to flip gems and make money, well, then it's really hard to stop them because they don't have anything to care about. Dude Froze just bought a polar bear snow globe. Hurry and start the stream so I stop spending money. Okay, there we go. Well, it says, can you break down the Mr. Pags deal? What motivated you to do it? Oh, so yeah, that's pretty much what I just did. What I started with. And the motivation is just, oh no. the cat hair. The motivation is just I will get more money. Again, I have so much money in the app. I have over 100 grand in the app. Even with that deal done, I still have over 100 grand in the app. So made some sense to get some more OMI and get that. We got a super chat over here. I'm gonna get that coming in from Takeshi. Oh, we have two. All right, one is from Takeshi Young saying, flipped a low mint Donald today and used the profit to buy a secret alligator Loki. Is there a Discord group for holders? There is not, Takeshi, but congratulations. And you will, when we're in Florida, in Orlando, probably in October this year. You didn't need the secret alligator for this. I'll pay for everyone's OMI tattoos. But what the secret alligator Loki will get you is it will get you a free pass to Disney or Universal, wherever we go that day. If you have one, then I will pay for your ticket wherever we go that day. If there's people, if you don't have a secret alligator Loki and you want to go with us, you can just pay your own way. It's fine. We're all gonna be rich AF at that point anyway. Vladimir Columbus saying, Randy, I see a Ben Riley uncommon number 56 for $2,000. I'm scared. Goodbye or no, please help. Yeah. I'm gonna take a look at that. Uncommon. Actually, was it uncommon? $700? I feel like the sub 100 should be like, well, I was gonna say like 5K, but there is 3 of them that are under 5K. Number 86, number 81, and 64 at 33 hundo. So yeah, actually, Vladimir, if you have the gems, I would go do that. That's the if I had the gems, I wouldn't take it right now because I would give, but yeah, that's the cheapest one, and it's I would definitely do that. Like I said, I think 5K. So actually, there's 4 of them that are under 5K, and you're getting that for 2K. Yeah, again, these have already been like $900. And Ben Riley is very, very scarce. I mean, the secret rare is scarce. Who's going to pay 10 grand? I imagine the Ben Riley's 10 grand. Oh, he's only 8,200. This guy was $18,000 at one point. If I did sell that, I might just get a second Ben Riley. I might get a second Ben Riley ultra rare if one of my comics gets sold, because that is too cheap in my opinion. Yeah. All right. So I hope I did you good there. And then so Ballin, talk about Mr. Pags. Can we have him on the show? I'll try to get him on. We're both very, very busy. I'll send him a message and I'll see what he says. In fact, I'll actually take a picture. I'll send it to him and be like, Pags, we need you, homie. Again, it's Sunday night. He might have work in the morning, so he might not even get this until tomorrow. As says, this is a subject I need. Vladimir Columbus Randy is only going down in price because it's spring loaded, ready to launch. That's what technical analysis says. Possibly. I mean, it's ready to launch anyway. I don't. The people that are selling here, I do not understand why. Like there's zero reason to sell down here. There's zero reason to do that. If you need the money or you're gonna be homeless, honestly, I'd rather be homeless. Like if you're saying hey, sell right now, you're gonna be homeless, or hey, be homeless for 2 weeks, wait for this to 4x. No. I don't know why. So yeah, as I said, the subject I need. I mean, life is short. It can all be taken away at any moment. And you should enjoy what you want, what you have. I mean, is it a risk? Yeah, absolutely. If you work hard for 10 years, let's say from 25 to 35 and you do nothing but work, you miss going out, you miss time with your friends, you miss vacations, and what happens? You're going to be financially in a much better place than everyone else at 35, but what did that cost you? Well, you know what that cost you. You traded good times and good memories that you'd have forever for financial security and stability, which I did. I did constantly for years. And, I still made sure I went out once in a while and partied and vacationed. But yeah, I still, having done both, I say, do what you want, because again, it's not just you. Other people could happen. So yeah, I am an advocate of getting what you want if you don't care about money. If just I have enough money to pay the bills, whatever, more money is not really going to make me crazy happy. It might increase my happiness a little bit, but at that point, I would say just get what you want. Ginferno ended up getting my first secret rare on the drop. Didn't really want to hold it, so I sold a goofy in a couple hours after the drop, 4.5K, hence my little spending spree. Not spending it all now, though. I think you actually could have gotten goofy for like 3,300 at one point if you would have wanted to sell back in, get back in if you wanted to. Yeah, so if you want to. You understand, is it? Let's go, everyone. Smash that like button and subscribe. Yeah. What's up, Diogo? How's it going? Aether says, who bought your Ultra Spider? It was the Mr. Bags. Ray Grenade said, sup, fool? What do you think of Pride? Pride, I mean, it's very good. It will do very, very well on OpenSea. And but yeah, I think it'll do very, very well on OpenSea. The creators of that with the art, rewind logo, those are going to be so. There's going to be a lot of them. There will be a lot of them. So the first Pride will do very well, in my opinion. Zarnell says, Randy, how you doing? Doing well, Zarnell. Thank you. Got some cheesy bread right there. And it was Captain Randy. Meow meow. Refresh ultra rare. Yeah, it was ultra rare sub 100 Spidey. Floorboard Voodoo says Marvel #1 ultra worth holding. Yes, a big hold. Yes. Cover says I sold my Marvel Mighty secret rare for 2.2K today, and bought 4 Disney NFTs from this week. Could call it out. I mean, most people will probably want Disney. Over. But again, the secret rare is hard. The Marvel Mighties could be gamified. I don't know if they are. There's theories that they are, but could call. I mean, if those are what you want, those Disney NFTs, and you get more joy out of them, then yeah, do that. Again, the Secret Rare Spider-Man, that Marvel Mighty is not animated. Lori Brenner says thoughts on liquidating R2 for a couple of secret Goofy. I actually would not do that. There are crazy people with Disney, absolutely. But the crazy people with Disney, they have a lot of other options. For Star Wars, currently, there are no other options. There's C3po. And again, we will have more Star Wars stuff in the future. We'll get Vader, we'll get Luke, we'll get Obi-Wan. I hope we get Mace Windu. There's so many things that we could do. So yeah, in the future, we will get other ones. But right now, short to midterm, I would not sell that R2 for the Goofy. Would not. Yeah. I would keep that. Aether says there is one cheap sub 100 Pluto, guys. I already have a Pluto. Is there such thing as a cheap Pluto? Let's take a look. See, let's find out. Nope, that is the okay. So he's 995 gems. Holy whack. There's 3,900 that you can get. Yeah, that's the cheapest is 3,900. I don't know if I'd really consider that cheap though. Yeah, I wouldn't really consider that cheap. Eccentrics is a 1 Minnie Mouse number 64 in auction for $26.99. Is that a good deal? I think yes, that is actually a very, 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 very good deal. Because Minnie Mouse is what, like $500 something dollars? Let's take a look. See, Minnie Mouse. Yeah, she's $520. That should be $5,000. And kind of her. Yeah, that is a great deal. Eccentrics. Orbo Buddha says Marvel number 1 ultra rare or Goofy secret rare. I don't know. I would probably say the Goofy secret rare. Because there's so many other Marvel comics. Like there is, you have the common and the uncommon and the rare and then the secret rare. So outside of the ultra rare, you have a lot of other stuff. And very Goofy secret rare. Hang on 1 second. And the Goofy secret rare, there's only one Goofy. Now, are there going to be other stuff, other Goofies at some point when they do movies, when they do Goofy movie? Yeah, there might be. But right now, there's only one Goofy. No. So should I quit? Should I get a Spidey or 11 Harley Quinn? Probably Mighty Spidey. Pokey99 says, hey, check out your Insta DM scoop number 43 Black Hat for $275 today. You mad lad. How the fudge did you get that? That's insane. I am so jelly. AZDS has bought 3 more Harley Quinns today. The anime style one, just because I like it. Oh, very good. Good for you. The price won't go up much, in my opinion. If you like it, that's all that matters. Again, I got Loki's, so I like them. Dr. Wolf does, is there any particular reason you just want the Goofy over maybe a couple of the rest of the set? Because I already have the rest of the set. I want the set. I want the set. I'm a collector. I need it. I'm like an addict. Kodagama says, it's the first secret rare Disney drop. 50K. Yeah, it's true. 50K is a lot. That is a lot. I don't know if it'll get there. Carlos Aguilar says, I was lost and depressed in life, but I have found myself aging with Veve. I'm just happy. Oh, I found myself again with Veve. Just happy. I'm glad we can help make you happy, Carlos, my brother. Jake McGuire says, Goofy Will Moon. Omar Kasaje, what's going on? How you doing, fam? John says, today I bought a Todd for 8K, but had to sell 1 million Omi for it. Yeah, it's hard. You got a Todd, though. Todds are cool. Just wonder if that was clever. I mean, it's good to get one, that you have one. You pay a lot less than retail, but yeah, the Omi will probably be with more in the future, but who knows. Danielson says, finally got me a Homer and Bart, my first golden moment, and actually the one that I wanted right from the start. Dude, good for you. Homer and Bart. Yeah, like I said, I'm very, very nostalgic for Homer and Bart. Just real quick. Quote tweet. We've got buddy of mine just texted me, and they will be on the stream in T-minus 5 minutes. I'm going to share that on Twitter in a second, but I am going to, before I share that on the Twitter, I'm going to get some more of this cheesy bread. If you dip it in garlic sauce, there's like nothing better. There's literally nothing better. Maybe a drink. Dios has bought a common 3-digit Spidey, put it for 180, profit after tax, bought a Gwen number 660. I thought since his first appearance would be better. Any thoughts? Once made, I mean, again, if he made profit and bought a Gwen with it, are probably good. Again, this Spidey is the only Spider-Man to not have a first appearance, so you probably did a good thing. Just my opinion. If there was a Spidey to get, I would get almost any other Spidey, because, like I said, they are. The rest of them are first appearances. This one is not. Can you and Mr. Pags talk about realistic purchases of Marketplace and have discounts on gems? If I can get him on, again, I don't know when I'll be able to. Again, he's very busy. I'm very busy. I sent him that thing that Ballin said before. So, if he decides to, if I can get him on next week, I will. But be advised, this coming up week, I've got something going on tomorrow. There's 2 drops on Tuesday, and then I have a new project coming out with 3 other colleagues, with 3 other YouTubers. I'll promote that at some point. I have this girl Emily Garcia coming in on Wednesday. I have 2 podcasts on Thursday. So and I have a wedding on Saturday, and there's something on Friday I have to go to. So It's going to be very hard to get him this week. Maybe I can get him on Sunday. Maybe I can get him on Sunday, or I can get him right now. Let's get this.
What's up?
What's going on, Bags? How you doing, fam?
What's going on?
So I had to like lie to people. I was just like, all right, listen, you know, a couple of other people have said that they wanted him, so let me send him the message because I told my friend was coming on and they didn't know who. So,
no, thank you, man. I got a couple. There was a couple other mentions in there. I don't know. There was a couple questions I missed. I apologize. If you want to, you know, reiterate, or we can go to you know, that.
Yeah. So Omar, the question that specifically was about you, at least this one, because the other ones were talking about the purchase that we did and my reasons behind it. So I explained them my reasons, but their reasons, or actually, yeah, what's your reason for getting a sub 100 ultra rare Spidey and spending Omi for it?
I love the moves I make. They're always questions. I step outside. Why'd you do that? I mean, it's like, isn't it cold? It's cold. Why are you going outside? No. So, yeah, you know what, man? What's up, Christian? What's up, Dino? Everybody out there, Veve, Las Vegas, everybody, Lord of the Realm. Before I get into that real quick, I just want to say that I probably could have made it a little earlier. I mean, I know you just came on, but what's up, Jake? What I actually was in a transaction with my Philippine boy.
Yeah, you told me later tonight, so I made it like 9:30. I was like, all right.
Yeah, over there right now, it's like, you know, 9-10 in the morning in Philippines. Yeah. So I was I needed a super favor, like real quick, and basically so you obviously know that, you know, I parted with what's up, Daniel? I parted with you can address the super chat. I don't want to, you know, I know you have things going on.
Yeah, I love the content. Would you rather have first appearance Joker or Joey Mad long term? Probably Joey Mad because he's in that first set. And that's the reason that people would buy him, even though Joker's more popular. That's why. Okay. Yeah, you were saying?
Yeah. So, you know, I parted with the Spider-Man Spider-Man set. With transaction with the MC1, and so I've been, you know, you get into these, and I'm sure you felt it before. You know, because you're, you know, as a collector, you're in it for the long haul. You call yourself Mr. Diamond Hands. You know, it's like, you know, you're rock solid, but then you get these like the temp by the snake comes into the realm every now and then, and you know, it's like, but you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, how can you? And of all sets, I mean, obviously Spider-Man's, you know, obviously the mecca of the collectibles, and the MC1 set is the, you know, is the standard for the Grails as of right now in the comics. So to get rid of both of them in one shot, you know, it has, I want to say it has psychological effects, but it has definitely taken a little bit of a reminding toll on me on a daily basis. I know I have to sit down. It was like a 12-step program, but I definitely needed some like I had to do a Roy Jones and lean back for a minute, because it affected me in the sense that what's up, Atomic? I just felt like I have to recoup. And I already had the rare 51 in my arsenal. Yeah. Because when I sold the set, I think the rare I had was a 45. I'm sorry, 44. So I also had the 51. I also had a 116 common. And I just, while I was just telling you, I had requested, I didn't have enough gems. You remember the guy that had the my guy from he's my friend. He's from Auckland, New Zealand. Brent. He owns the among a host of a lot of things. The Amazing Spider-Man #1, the lowest mint, the 282. But he also owns the lowest Avengers 8. He owns the lowest of. He actually, I think he tweeted like 6 of them of the lowest as secret rare top. Like, and I'm like, I got like the #2s of. Or #3s of some of them. He's got actually #1. Anyway, that he had the uncommon Spider-Man 115 for 3.9K. You know what I mean? When the floor is like a dime. And I was short, so I hit up Alvira real quick, and he's in the Philippines eating breakfast, and he's not feeling well. And I heard him. He sniped it. He's like, don't even worry about it. Pay me later. I don't even care. I got to go take a shower. It's the kind of relationships, brother. I mean, like seriously, when you're trying to collect a set, and you get people on the whim like that. It's awesome. So I got the 115 uncommon, the 116 common. I have the rare 51, and you were kind and very kind. And I'll see this here. Excuse me, I mean to interrupt you. My wife is over here.
Okay, hi, Randy.
She just made
how's it going?
Apple cobbler.
Fresh apple cobbler with Cool Whip.
Cool Whip, nice.
I can't see your camera's off.
There we go.
Nice.
It's in there. It's in the bowl.
I had cheese sticks. Me and Danielle had pizza. We ordered Papa John's.
Okay.
So that's what
I've never had Papa John's.
Whenever Papa John did.
Oh, dude, it's so good. It's so good.
Well, between us owning pizzerias and stuff our whole life, like we eat our own products, so it's not really like,
Yeah, but we eat out.
Good point.
I mean, we do other stuff, but Papa John's, we've done Domino's.
Is Papa John's like Pizza Hut? More like Pizza Hut or more like Domino's?
A little bit. It's like Pizza Hut because they have stuffed crust, but it is more like Domino's because they do give you a lot of like seasoning and they give you a lot of sauces and stuff. And I feel like Pizza Hut doesn't do it. Domino's is more seasoning and sauces, but again, Pizza Hut has a stuffed crust, and Domino's refuses to do that for whatever reason.
We just went to matter of fact 2 nights. What is this, Sunday? Was it Friday, babe?
No, it's Sunday.
Friday, Pizzeria Uno. Pizzeria Uno.
I haven't.
It's another chain, but it's a good one. They got deep dish.
Chicago chain.
Oh, okay.
Chicago Uno. It's called Pizzeria Chicago Uno.
Okay, I haven't had it. I don't know how y'all have been driving. I legit just tried to get my car out before. I was like, babe, I'm gonna stay here another day because
you're going down. So we only got like a 5-inch.
Oh, I hate you. We're like 10 inches over here.
Did you got a foot? I know South Jersey got like 16.
Yeah.
It was weird between South Jersey and Long Island. Like we were in the middle.
Oh,
we got like dust. I don't know what happened.
I remember those days on McGuire Air Force Base. We'd be shoveling for like 2 days. It'd be 24 hours and then plus another like 12 hours. It was ridiculous. Horrible.
So anyway, thank you for that, man. I really do, dude. Look. Everybody has a plan,
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that I could contribute to yours. And I know you accumulating Omi has been your top quality thing. I know you've parted with many of the top collectibles and comics in the game, a lot more in the collectibles. I know you've obviously acquired a lot of the collectibles too, but I mean, this is what we do. You know what I mean? And I'm back and forth. Now I'm back in. I mean, I already acquired a whole new MC1 set.
Mm-hmm.
As crazy as that sounds, with decently low mints. And I'm a secret rare away from a Spider-Man secret rare away from another complete set with decently low mints.
Do you want? I have like 3 people trying to sell. Do you want another one?
Bro, I got this guy that just hit me up. Omar. This guy.
Yeah.
I know. I advised him to just go float around because he's got like an emergency thing. His friend needs some money, whatever. And look, I can't look. If it was like 100 or like 120 or like a 90 something or sub, then maybe I could have a little bit more leeway.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a floor.
Yeah.
And we have discounted. We get gems like discounted sometimes. We get things going on. What's up, Atomic? and so for the amount that he wants, it's just not within means.
Yeah, no,
I love to help people. I love to help people out.
Yeah, no, I get it. The sub 100, anything Marvel that's sub 100, I think those are definitely worth holding. I
collected both of those sets. I have both of the zombie captains, and I have both of I have the whole storm.
Yeah, same. And I don't have them sub 100. Do you have them sub 100?
I have both. The zombie was only 2. I have them in 61 and like a 62.
Oh,
and
nice.
I have the Storm. I have all in sub 50s. I think the SR is the only one I have a 75, but it's I have a sub 4. I have a 47, a 57, and a 45 sitting in the wind if I want to do a deal.
Oh, nice.
So they're not on the market, but
yeah, I have number 69 rare Storm, and then I have I have 5 secret rare Storm. 2 of them are sub 100. I had number 43, which I sold for Omi.
Secret rare
for Storm, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. I sold the secret rare Storm and the secret rare Captain America number 47 to Dr. Prophet.
I should have known.
Yeah, he wanted her. I was like, I paid an Omi. I was like, okay, let's get this bread. Yeah.
You know, I had the 43. I'm sorry, 42, 43, and 44 in the secret rares.
Yeah.
He scooped the 43 and 44 right out me one night. He's like, and he's like, I shouldn't be. I don't know. He said the saying is, don't shop at 3 o'clock in the morning. You know, they're giving me advice.
Yeah.
He was buying from me, but I still have the 42.
Yeah. So yeah, you get that. So listen, my idea was that Omi will probably get me more land in the future, like more like actual like physical land for animal conservation. So that's why I did it. And he said you just got the collecting bug again. Nick Brett says, what's going on? The C3po that you have, did you get rid of it or you just delisted it?
You know, I think it hit the 30-day interval where it just automatically gets delisted.
Okay, gotcha.
So it's just probably one I didn't keep up with. It's you know, I have the 70. I got this. I'm sorry, C3po. I got the 60. I'm sorry, I got the 60 on the C3po. R2d2. I got 70. It's 60 and 70.
Nice.
Look, you know, you have hundreds. I have hundreds and hundreds. You know what I mean? And between the comics and to keep up with and I don't. They're on a different like monthly scale. Like I don't know, or do all of them reset at one time, regardless of when you re-put them back in? Is it a monthly reset, regardless of when you like? If you put it in, say they all come out on the 30th, and you release it on the 29th, does it come off on the 30th, or is it a 30-day cycle no matter when you put it in?
So I have 2 lines of thinking. It would seem really inefficient and not inappropriate. Yeah, it'd be really stupid to say like have it all say on the 30th, because then just somebody puts it on for 2 days. But I've also seen it where like, oh, hey, this must be when they're doing their mass delisting because we had like 30 of these just up and leave. And okay, I think it is the 30 days, but it's what usually happens is that they said okay 30 days after the listing, but most people list like the day or day after that they get it. So 30 days after that is when it usually.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When you have hundreds, I know you got 2.
Yeah.
You don't know where you are. You know what I mean?
That's true. Thoughts on sub 100 resos in comparison to say a partner statue? Because reso was ahead of partner statue for a while, then they were neck and neck, and now partner's just climbing away. And the resos in general it's actually lower now than it was when I sold it. You know,
look, there's always going to be a comparison of specific, special even comics, grails. There's always going to be a debate, and it's really the dimension of the not just the demand, the marketing. Batman, it's a character. Walt and Mickey, the partner statue, it's a statue of a representation of something. You know what I mean? It's 2 different things. And it's like that's a real person. Walt Disney is a real person. Granted, he's with Mickey, but that's a real person that he created what he created. We have what we have because of his creation. So that's a person, real person. We talk about like a character. Batman's a character. Superman's a character. Spider-Man's a character under the umbrella. So, I can't say that sub 100 Rizzos because I own a 57. So I know how valuable certain items are. But if it was like, there's always the debate about a floor of something versus a low mint of something else. I don't like to do that. You know what I mean? Let's keep mints out of the question. Let's just talk floor to floor.
Okay, floor to floor.
When you're talking about floor to floor, you're talking about a Rizzo versus a partner. I mean, it goes without saying. the partner statue, long-term and short-term, all day long. And I'll be honest with you, and this is me. And I know there's people who traded and they did trades and stuff. I believe that the partner statue is so undervalued. People have taken a partner statue or two of them and gotten a secret rare. Like there's like the Spider-Man. Like I think it's better than the Spider-Man secret rare.
Really?
And I'm telling you, in the long term, in the long run, the Disney Golden Moments are probably the most undervalued items as a complete Golden Moment set. I know it's, you got 11 of them. I know there's 11 of them. Yeah, there's 11 like total.
Yeah.
But that entire, I don't care, get everybody, if I had to advise anybody to do anything about a set, all the sets that we have, get a Golden Moment set, get all floors. Just try to get floors and start with the wall because it's going to go up. And as time goes on, the longer it takes you to get it, you'll pay more. Just get them because that set is and realize there's only 4,333 possible sets that can be created because that's how many waltz there are. That's the most limited one. And you can't even say because there's people like Prophet he's got all 100 waltz plus more. There's people like myself has 2. Some people I know that have 5. I know another guy that has 10, and he picked them up when they were like 4,000, less than when Prophet bought his at 9. So what I'm saying is, so we really don't know the metric of the specific of how many real full complete sets there could be.
It's a good point.
If you own one of them, and it's the first, and it's the Grail, and it's Disney that owns Marvel and all. Everybody's worried about Marvel characters. Disney owns Marvel. Marvel is a little seed under the Disney umbrella. So if you own Golden Moments and you have that whole set with Walt, it's going to.
So do you think that in order to get one, let's say like me, if I don't have one, or what are those NFT channel? Would you break up a Series 1 Batman, sell a Reso, sell a Secret Rare Amazing Spider-Man, and a Fantastic Four #5 to get a partner statue?
I mean, it's a great question. Now, now you have it's like you're saying break up a series of the Batman and sell it. So, like if you had the whole collection of the set, and it says also sell a Spider-Man SR or and I mean this is a huge bunch of items.
Yeah.
An Amazing Spider-Man Secret Rare comic. I think is also a little undervalued. I think that the Doom Fantastic Four 5, the FF5, that's a 15 to 20K item. That is you're gonna see it 15, 20K, no problem. And the Spider-Man's the Amazing Spider-Man's gonna be in the 30s and 40s too. But if it had to do with like trading 3 items for, I don't like the 3 item for 1 stuff. It's it's 1 for 1. I mean, we talk about secret rares.
Yeah, but what can compare
secret
to
rares for 1 secret rare or 1 partners? It's weird. If you can get like a partners and an Elsa, or a partners and a hat and good decent mints, and then you could get like a 3 for 2. Then things work more like that. But the 3 for 1 stuff, especially when you're breaking up sets, I wouldn't do that because especially the black and white Batman set. That's another very going to be limited. You got a Todd in there and the Risso in there, the Joe. You have Becky in there. That's another absolutely excellent set. And there's people, and those are very limited too. And I know a lot of people that got a lot of volume in Todds and Rissos. Yeah. So we really don't know how limited a complete set of that's going to be.
Yeah,
I always made the argument that, we've had different conversations and debates about different sets. And what's important, and there's always been a debate with respect to like secret rares and the mint numbers and high mints and low mints, and like we throw around all these conversations. It's great, it's a great combo.
Yeah.
But when it comes to trading, it really has to do with the person's budget. It has to do with their long-term or short-term collection plans. There's people who come into this game, I want to get it. They get all kinds of stuff and they get all hot and heavy, and then all of a sudden, like 2 months down the line, either they get discouraged because they're not getting drops, or 1. Or 2, because it's not like it used to be, or 2, they get into a financial situation where they can't keep up with drops and they get discouraged. So now they're like, you know what? And now they see floors going up and they're like, you know what? Maybe I'm just going to get out. Maybe I'll just go into OMI. A lot of people are liquidating. So that brings the floors down too. There's concerns with the MTL coming in and how that's going to affect floor prices. So all of these things are happening. All moving parts are happening at the same time. So when we're talking, we give like, any kind of advice or we're sharing thoughts. You know, people can't like lock us into those claims because everybody has a different metric of where they are in this. You know, you and me, look how different you and me are right now. I'm able to give you a couple million owe me right now, and you're giving me something that there's 10 people that would say, I'd rather have the owe me. There's other 10 people saying, yeah, but if I'm making a set, I'd rather have that ultra rare, especially at 84. You see what I'm saying? So it depends on where people are at and their budget. You know, that matters.
So instead of selling 3 for 1, would you sell 1 for 8? Would you sell a Superman to buy 8 Minnie Mouses?
Yeah, we talked. We actually, that conversation came up. I don't know if it was me and I don't know if I was talking to Foster when I was in Vegas. We had made a mention with I think it was either the MC1 or it had to do with grabbing selling a secret rare and buying a host of either ultra rares or a bunch of, 5 or 10 of these, 5 or 10 of them. It was basically a more of a quality versus a quantity play. That's really what it was.
Okay.
This look, when it comes to like one item, one set items, like what's her name? The Captain Marvel, the girl, Carter.
Brie Larson? Oh, you mean
Carter?
Yeah, Captain Carter, Peggy Carter. Yeah.
Right. Like it's a 1-for-1. Like Superman is a 1-for-1. We don't only get like ones like that. They're 1 in, 1 out. It's 1. Just take it. You know what I mean? Don't worry about selling it and trying to grab 8 of something else because you're gonna guess wrong. And then when you do dump the Superman, he can pop. And now you're sitting on trying to liquidate 8 or 7 or 8 of something else.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean? That you're not sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's anybody's guess. You don't know. I mean, like today, we had, you know what? A perfect example is the Wonder Woman, right? Mm-hmm. With the set, with the Hawk and everything. You got ultra rare, you got an uncommon, you got a rare. They're obviously a lot more rare and scarce than the common is. But how can Wonder Woman, no matter what her additions are and how many there are, she's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10x more than the other ones? How's that possible?
Well, I think for Wonder Woman is because she's the first appearance where Supergirl and Batgirl are not.
No.
And
listen, I'm not taking away first appearances, but I'm just talking about scarcity, and I'm just talking about the actual rarity of things, with respect to additions. Because it's supply and demand. You know what I mean?
I mean, at that point, the demand is just so high for Wonder Woman, and the other ones are just not. Yeah, and even if they were the same, the demand for the other ones are met by the other ones that are in the app. There's only one Wonder Woman.
That's exactly why that's to answer this question. It relates to that. There's only one Superman. That's the point. You know what I mean?
I mean, there's only one Minnie Mouse. Granted, there's about 5,000 more mints of Minnie Mouse, and but again, Superman is probably one of the best, if not the best looking on the app. Him or Elsa are very, very good looking. But I see a lot of layers with this. I see that it is the first cards that we have on the app. It's the first with music. It's the first. So I do see a lot of layers of that. Plus, it is Disney. People like to pair Mickey and Minnie. But you're talking about mints before. Do you have and you collect usually sub 100 mints, but do you think there's how much are really worth it for the sub 500 mints? Are those some that you would go for? Obviously not in comics, obviously, yeah, you would, but when it comes to collectibles, I think that the metric of the percentage has to do with percentages, not necessarily sub certain numbers. Because if something has a 10,000 editions, if something has 500, or say if something has 1,000, 10% is sub 100. But if something has 10,000, 10% is sub 1,000 then. So you really can't use a number when it comes to the collectibles. When it comes to mints, comics, for the majority of everything from 30K and higher, not like 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, like that. Yeah.
Anything sub 1,000, I would use as the guide. Anything sub 1,000 for that. Okay. Obviously, when you're dealing with, 10K editions on the comics, you have to change that a little bit, maybe into the sub 300 range, or so. But when you're looking at collectibles, it really matters because you know when you look at say for instance Risso, he's got 1750. You know, 1750, 10%, you're sub 200. That's huge. You know what I mean? So sub 200 would matter more. Obviously, Spider-Man, it doesn't matter as much because of, his numbers are a little off the chart. But if you're looking at and you really care about that, sub 100. You know what I mean? Sub 100, Spider-Man Secret Rare. You know what I mean? Because it's 10%.
So
I think the
percentage.
percentage.
What about in the scenario where let's say Lori or anyone, even like you, would have, let's say, the lowest mint or the second lowest mint, and then suddenly they release the previous 10 mints. Let's say you have number 501, and then Veve releases 490 through 499.
Yeah, so they're gonna do well per David and per Dan. I mean, we've heard in the AMAs that there was going to be some incentives in Veve version. Now, realize something. Let's just talk about the when, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about when they talk about when they're going to release them. It has to do with Veveverse. That's all I hear. So that's the where and the when. But what we don't know is the when, and when is Veveverse going to be released. So until that time comes, it's still really a mystery. You really can't, for me, look, if it's a matter of, having something at 500 or having something at, 400 and 500 and the mints, it doesn't matter. Because you're still if there's 50,000 additions and there has been and all that's left is 1%, which is sub 500. That means 99% is out. Yeah. What does that 1% really matter when you're in the 500 and 600 range? You're within the 1-2%. Yeah. You understand what I'm trying to say? So it's not really that much off. Don't get me wrong. The number one, like whatever that is, whatever variant the number one is going to have significant ramifications when it comes to value because it is the number one. And all the sets, though, whenever and if ever they do release it, right. But then that doesn't mean number two is not going to be worth nothing or number three is not going to be worth nothing. They're all going to have value. But you can't really compare it to like the 501 or the 502 because you're still within the 1% of the entire edition set. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I try to tell you anything 50,000 editions and you're like 10%, you're like sub 5,000, sub 3,000.
It's all the same at that point.
Dude, you're like you're caking because everybody else is going to be in the high 60, 70, 80%, based on floors. Yeah.
No, that's a great point. That's a great point. So maybe it might affect them a little bit, like the 3 to 5 to 10 people that would want the lowest mint, maybe like they don't want the third or fourth lowest mint, but for the most part, what you're saying is, it's a good point. Most people
I sold to profit. I sold the MC1 set, right? Obviously, I had the uncommon, the uncommon, the rare, and the ultra rare. They were the first of the MC1 in the comics, right? They were the first. Those are the first that was available. That was re-released. But I had provided the 503. That was the number third. That was the third lowest one. But guess what? Wet Wizard has the 502, and the other guy has the 501. If it was a matter of getting those other two, Prophet has the resources to get those if he really wanted. That's what I'm trying to say. It doesn't really matter. And for the secret rare, I had the 672. That arguably is the number two. And with the 599 being on the market, he could have legitimately went in and swiped that one. He would have had the number one, the first. That's what I'm trying to say. It doesn't make a difference whether you have the number one or the number two.
Yeah, it's three. At the end of the day, it's all the super low ones. They're all dude. Wet Wizard Veve's such a boss, man. He's such a G. I love him. I got to meet him at DesignerCon. That was so great. So
Rabbi, right? Rabbi?
Yeah. So this is a fun one. Listen to the reason on why I would say you're Alfred out of Batman Rob is because Alfred was an MI6 agent. And he was pretty badass back in his day, and he still remains to be that. Excuse my language. Batman. I mean, I don't know. You're the older, grittier one. I'm like this.
Well, my middle name is Alfred, so that, you know what I mean. That's the irony of this whole thing. To be honest with you, bro, I wasn't a cape guy, man. I wasn't. I used to watch it, the old school one and stuff. And the thing would spin, and it was it was cool. But growing up, I wasn't really a big Batman like I didn't see myself. I would when I was in kindergarten. I was Ace Frehley from Kiss as a kindergarten Halloween, right? Because I love Kiss. And then in second grade, I was the Hulk. You know what I mean? I saw pictures, the green paint and shit on me, and so there were characters that and then Spider-Man naturally, but Batman and Robin, it just. I don't know, man. That whole Cape Crusader thing was never really. I thought Superman was like the dude, bro. You Superman ran the show, bro. It didn't matter. You know what I mean? He could pick up. You know what I mean? He was flying around.
Yeah, he could do whatever. He could do everyone's job. He could clean up Gotham in a night if he wanted to.
Yeah, and he spun around the Earth, and he kept that. Remember the centrifugal force that sucked in the gravity. Remember all the trees got sucked out. Remember that?
Yeah. Did you watch the Dean Cain Superman in the 90s? Where Dean Cain was Superman?
That was the series, not the. Oh, you talking about? Oh, yeah. Nah, I never got into that, bro. I never.
I grew up on that, and just a car's trying to speed away, and Superman goes. He like slurps air in, and it moves the car backwards. Like, oh my god, get out of here! That's so great.
This guy said something here.
Which one?
Pags, what happened to the highest mints? The gooseneck.
Yeah, I mean, I still have two of the high mints. I have one. It was the rare Deadpool. I have a Hit Monkey, and then I have a rare Ghost Bear, or one of the Ghost Bears is high mints as well. So I have a couple of them, but you have the high mint ones. Have you acquired any since the last time?
I did. I have. That's why I'm addressing it. Yeah. So Goose. So what really? Yeah. I have been. Look. I'm very particular on what I actually collect in general. So it's not just about getting the highest mints or the last mints, because I get hit up all the time. They're always trying to throw the, I got the 60,000, I got the 70, I got 50,000. They always got the last, and the last are awesome.
Yeah.
But they might be with comics that I don't own any of them. So I don't just get the last, because I have to own the entire set of the last mints of all of the variants. So just to make that clear, realize it's not just grabbing one. I mean, there are a couple that I do have, but with the actual values, they're still premiums. Like the floors can be 800, but the highest mints, they could be 6,000. So there's at least a 4 to 8x. I could say even 10x, some even higher in there. I mean, especially the grails, they're ridiculous. I mean, you can't even go near them. It's almost like going near the lows. You know what I mean? The numbers they're staggering.
Yeah, I haven't been able to discern or read any discernible patterns for like, oh yeah, this is 8x normally the floor, and this number is either 6 or 10x, because there's just isn't enough data. And I wish, the one thing that me as a data analyst would love most is for them to have a like sold history. This one sold for this much. I don't even care who bought it, who sold, but this one sold for this much. So this way I could have the data and try to interpret it that way. But it's just not there right now. So
sure,
I mean, it's too much.
There's how what did this guy Bolin? You see what he had? He has a question. It's actually pretty relevant.
Up higher.
Bolin.
Oh, ball. Where's that? Oh yeah. Got the amazing Secret Rare Amazing Spider-Man 252, number 103. 252 Secret Rare market is slow. One floor multiples plus Omi. Dr. Prophet has multiples. That may only trade partner. How would you play it if you had that? Did you just keep it?
Well, so he's trying to move the 103. That's the secret rare. It is the lowest. I mean, that's actually the lowest secret rare in the entire comic on Veve altogether.
Yeah.
Obviously the set is the lowest also, but it says want floor multiples plus Omi. So you basically don't care, but Prophet has multiples, but is that your only trade partner? He's not really. I don't like to speak on other people's behalf, but Randy, you can probably agree to this. You don't sell anything, and very, very rarely is he in the trade mode, unless it's very, like, it's got to be compelling. It's got to be so robustly on his side. I don't see him doing much in the trade area either.
Yeah,
but it doesn't mean anything. I mean, look, if it's up there for sale, if he wants it, he can afford it, he'll buy it. It's the same thing with me. If I have something that I want, I can afford it, I'm buying it. It's not a matter of, if you want something and you want to do like trades, I doubt that someone's just because you have the lowest one, that they're going to give you multiples of floors because of because then how do you evaluate the value of it? Especially if you have the lowest one and you put it for 10 million, what are you going to say? Well, all the floors are 1 million. I could get 10 of them. Let's do the deal. You know what I mean? You're the one that's you're putting the price at what it is. I mean, so it's hard to evaluate it. For me, that set, I had bought the on drop day. I bought the 998, the common. It was number 2 from the top.
Yeah, I remember that.
The bottom. And I got a good deal on it, and I got a good deal in a trade with it. So
nice.
I traded it out. Yeah, I bought it for a real great price, and then I traded it out, and I made a fantastic deal. For me, that set, it was I don't know. I don't know what there was something that had to do with bots with that. I don't know if it was a test run. I don't know. There's a lot of theories and there's speculation, but you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about. I stay away from it. That's it.
Yeah. Kobe Collects has been a great supporter of the channel. My cousin was on a stream with me last week with my friend Justin, and he bought some of the art that she showed, which is really cool. He wants you to get a channel because everyone wants you to get a channel. But he's just here saying it's always good seeing and hearing you and your thoughts on Veve, and he wants to pick your brain, and he hopes that we're doing well.
Kobe Collects.
He's just a bro.
Listen, you can DM me at any time you want. You've done it. I mean, I talk with a lot of people here. I have no problem. I'm just too busy. Like, unfortunately I can't, give that much of my clock away. And to be honest with you, it's not really something I really want to do. I enjoy coming on here every now and then. And, and everybody that I have a lot of answers to questions that people hit me up all the time. So that's fine. That's just as good as, doing it without doing it, and I enjoy this. So it's fine. It's cool.
Yeah, no, it's great to have you on as much as we do, all the time. It's great. I do have I'll try to get you on. I'll talk to you after this at some point, but I have a new show coming out with 3 other content creators. They're Veve only content creators on Tuesday. I don't know if we're going to announce, we have a big guest coming on next month. We're going to try to do it once a month or maybe once a week, give or take, but we'd love to have you on there at some point.
Yeah. You hit me up. If I'm not busy, I appreciate it. It's my pleasure. Trust me, anytime. I appreciate, I want to compare you to other content, creators, because everybody has their own little method. Obviously, Andre Jick, he has a great following and he has a great show, and I listen to him. I like the way that I like the way that he presents his content. Obviously Foster and Cavell goes without saying. I mean, these guys are, you know what I'm saying? Taps, excellent. Sleeping, Dan, Asian Dan, even Wendy, everybody gets their hand, and feet wet, but, I like what you do for the comments. And I like that you
read everyone.
You get into everyone's minds, and you can apply that, and you get on your phone. Like, it doesn't matter if you're, I'm 45 minutes away. I'm 45 minutes out from comments. I'm an hour out, guys. But you know what? I'm gonna get to you. That speaks volumes, bro. And trust me, when it comes to like me, I'll sit here. I've watched 2 hours straight, 3 hours sometimes with you on my TV. I just shoot it up, and I sit in my bed or I'm on my couch and shit. I can't see the comments when I'm watching it on TV, but you go to each one, and that's special stuff, man. That's cool.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Brendan Jacobs got Spider-Man zip code 11375.
They're trying everything with these mint numbers, bro. I swear. You know what? It gets so freaking nuts, dude. Someone screenshotted. I don't know if you've seen it. Do you see the screenshot of the clock that was in the background of a show of a Mickey Mouse show? They had the clock, and the time was like, I don't know, 4:18 or something PM.
And it was the mint number.
Yeah, look at the clock, and it's in the background. Like, come on, bro. They're stretching, bro. It's getting crazy. It's yeah, it's Minnie Mouse's dead uncle's birthday when he died. Come on, bro. What was his name? Scrooge? What was
Yeah.
it? The Donald Duck, the
Scrooge McDuck.
yeah.
Oh, that was. Have you read any of those comics like where Donald Duck was in World War II? And I don't know if they made him fight Nazis or they made him a Nazi in one of the comics just to make him like the villain of one of the. I forget what it was.
Did they have his arm with the symbol?
I think they did. Yeah, I think they did have that. But like they had him play a villain in one of the comics, and obviously that back then I was like, oh, all right, get him, this comic. But looking at back that now, like, oh, they probably shouldn't have done that. They should have done that.
You probably won't see that on Veve, though. I'll be honest.
No,
the PR would have too much to be. There was such a setback. It would be. They wouldn't be able to get out of it.
Did you see the stream the other day on Cavell's channel with me, Taps, Cavell, and Jeremy Pador?
I did.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I heard the questions that was applied to Jeremy, which is greatly appreciated. And what he brings to the table.
So what I was before that interview, I was very, very pumped. And one of my big catalysts was Veve and Akomi doing some marketing because they haven't. But Jeremy brought to my attention, like, well, actually, why would you market when there's currently nothing on the shelves? Like, why would you reach out to millions of people when they have zero chance of getting a drop for the most part? What's your take on that? Do you think they should continue not marketing, or is like, hey, if you get you're doing 10 drops a week, then you can do marketing? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm for the wow.
Thank you so much, Ray.
Hey, Facts. What's up, bro?
He's a homie. I love him.
You know what? Randy is the secret. You know what, bro? You ain't even a secret rare, bro. You're the special rare, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like the one of one.
Thank you.
The whole effect of marketing and these guys, they wrote the book. So for us to put hypotheticals in there or some theories or what we might think that should or shouldn't happen or anything, we could talk. It's discussion. It's great. It's cool. Yeah. But I believe in the don't fix something that isn't broke. I always go by that. And I always believe that if it does break or crack, because it ain't going to just crack and break and crumble, it'll have some splits in it that can just get, band-aided up until they find another way. And then it'll have another solution, because that's how it is, bro. And it's the same with code. You write code, it comes out and everything's great. And then you get a bug here and bug there, but it's not like a whole crash. You get the bug, you fix it, and you get the update and it's done. And that's just how life is. But to sit here and, you don't really want to change something that's working. And, Jeremy brings a lot of knowledge from, he's a little older. I don't know.
He's 48. So he's not like old.
I thought he was older than me, but yeah. So, I mean, but that's a good thing because he's got a lot of experience and you could see what he collects. I mean, he's deep, bro. That's a deep guy. You know what I mean? When you're in the game for 20, 30, probably maybe even as much as 40 years, and I look at him like a David Vu, because David Yu is like that. You know what I mean? These guys have had their collective aspects into their teeth into the meat of it for many years. So they got all angles, they get it, and they know how to do it. But when you got David and you got Dan and you got Alfred and you got everybody and their team and they're expanding, and then you have Reese and Alex, you have the host of all the other, I don't want to say minions because they're the actual worker bees. Bro, this is like an unstoppable. This is a runaway train, bro, and it really is, man. And I'm in. We talk about the mints. I'm the conductor, and I'm in the caboose. In the back, I'm in the front. I take the high mints, the low mints. I walk through. I like to range because you really don't know where the value of any of these NFTs are really going to lay for the majority of the space. And we're testing it. We keep, there's a lot of buys and sells, and people, the floor prices are going crazy. I just want to say something about the floors. I did the drop today. I've been 0 I don't know 8. I hit Spider-Man today, right?
Yeah.
It was a 3 o'clock drop. Guess when I got it? Guess when I actually got it into my account? And this was after logging in and logging out and going in and going out of the app. 5:30.
Okay, so it's a little long.
It's a lot long, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is unbelievable. It got to the point where the floor of the Spider-Man went from 150 to over 400 and back down to 200 by the time it was in my account.
Oh man, that sucks.
Yeah. I watch it all the way, and I'm like, when it was at 400, I'm like, wow, this thing's gonna go to like 6, 7. I'm like, there's no. I mean, I think over time it will.
Yeah.
But, those are pretty cool. This drop was pretty cool. These characters, it's pretty neat, man. They got those little guys are pretty cool. You know, they look good. Green Goblin.
I love him.
Yeah, they all look good.
I don't know what the floors are now, but I'll make a prediction as I look. I would expect the Green Goblin to probably be around 12 to 1500, just because the ultra rare for him would be comparable almost to the Doctor Doom and the Red Skull, but there's a lot less of him. There's like 1600 less mints of him, and he's about as popular as Doctor Doom, probably more so than Red Skull.
Especially now after like what do you call, No Way Home?
Spider-Man. Oh, he's at 915. I think that's way too undervalued for him.
I was gonna say, I thought when you said like 12, 13, 14, I thought that was a little. I didn't even know he was over 1-1. Like I thought, for me, just today early, seeing everything. So yeah.
I would, like I said, I would expect him to be much higher, but I guess he's not. When you were talking before about marketing, what I didn't really see until Jeremy brought that up was like, oh, well, actually, they're very similar to Tesla in this way, where Tesla doesn't spend a dime on marketing because the demand is so huge, they don't need to. And I think the same with the Comey. Like they do not have a demand problem at all. That demand is coming in. Actually, late last year, they said, yeah, we could have a couple million people on here. Our servers can handle that. Oh, we're getting to a couple million people, and now like I don't know if they've upgraded their servers. And I assume that they have. I'm going to assume that they did.
It's such a it's like what's the chain letter where you send me
telephone, like the
like the chain letter. You write the chain letter. Here's an address of 10 people. Put $1 and send them to 10. The $10, and then they send the 10, and then they send. Before you know it, it only has to go through a few transactions before it's in the millions. And I feel like that from Veve because when we were pre-Marvel, pre-MC1 comic drop. In the late May into June, I remember, I think we were sub 10,000 on the app. I think it was either almost 10 or sub 10,000. To go from that to like tens of thousands downloads a day. I'm trying. You know what I mean? It's hard to wrap my head. Like, you know what I mean? Like we talk about from all the months that it took to get to like May or June, and then when you finally get to like May, June. You're at like 10 grand, and which they had surmised that by the end of the year they were looking at like 50 to 70K. That was like the benchmark.
Blew past that. That's why I was very surprised when David Hughes said we'll have $1 billion in revenue next year. Talking about this year of 2022, it was like, all right, you've already underestimated yourself, not by like 30,000 downloads. No, underestimated yourself by like 1 million downloads, and to say $1 billion, where like I might posted that the only thing I ever pinned on Twitter was saying that we're going to have 20 million monthly active users and 2 billion in revenue, because I think David's being very conservative yet again on this, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, the another thing that's important, like when we talk about realize this, it's the same as anything that has to do with. Just look at population. And I could see it because I'm in real estate. I've been in real estate for over 20 years. And I could tell you from when you look at areas of what, and I'm sure you've seen it in Long Island, in Brooklyn, in the boroughs, 20 years has made a difference. I could tell you more so 30 because I was almost 20 at the time. So 30 years ago, I was 18 years old. I'm an adult that understands the game. Matter of fact, I was in high school proposing my mom to listen to cassette tapes of Carlton Sheets' No Dumb Money Down real estate program for like $149. He was selling it on an infomercial. And I was sitting there to listen with my headphones and everything. I'm dead serious, bro. It's high school. I was 16, 17 years old. Just making a point that 18 years old, 19, 20, going forward, getting more seasoned into real estate, I learned a few things. It's like, and this is nothing to do with like metaverse. This is I'm just making a point of when it comes to value and when it comes to like Veve and the amount of people, the growth. If we're where we're at right now, you have to realize it's like anything else with population growth. It gets to a point where the people who are of age get old. They either do two things. They die. Two, they move because of whatever reason. They want a different area. They want more room. They want more elbow room in their land. Maybe they want to go. Maybe their taxes are too high. Just period. Yeah. Or maybe they have a two-family home where at the point where they're like, you know what, we can move here. We can rent the one we already rent in one. We can rent the one we're living in. Take both rents, have cash flow, and move to somewhere else. And with the cash flow there, we can put it toward there and live somewhere else. And we have investment. And they're building, obviously, generational wealth for their kids and so on and so forth, right? But so go fast forward 20 years. And I know that seems like a long time, but in 20 years, the people like myself, we're going to be almost 70, right? And there's kids that are 5 that are going to be 25. And there's kids that are not even born or born now that are going to be 20. But then there's also ones that are not going to be born for 5 more years for 20 years from now, and they're going to be 15. Yeah. So why I'm using 15, why I'm using that as a guide is because can you imagine, forget about what like technology is going to do with metaverse, because we talked about this and I've been talking about it since my first feed with you in September. But can you imagine how many people are going to be on and what different kind of outlets if these kind of licenses and this IP still hold strong back then? Like, I mean, at that point, and 5 years from now, and 10 years from now, you're only in its deflationary aspect can be hundreds of billions of dollar market cap like easily, and still only be you know maybe like a $10 coin.
So because this is I don't know if you saw it. I had a video the other day, non-clickbait video, saying that why I think OMI can actually reach $10 by 2030, and
easy.
Yeah, and it's mostly because of the math that's in there, but it's because Cathie Wood says that you will have, and again, I've previously have said that all of the top 10 cryptos will have $1 trillion market caps easily. Because again, that's 8 years from now. And there's so much time to build wealth, especially in crypto. But Cathie Wood says that, and she's very, very conservative with things, says that we will have a $20 trillion market cap for Ethereum. So I know that, you know, being 1/10 of the market cap of Ethereum right now is probably, you know, okay, whatever. But being 1/10 of it in the future is still behind by $18 trillion. So I think this is conservative when we say that. And we could have less than 200 billion OMI in circulating supply. So we could have a $10 OMI and still have less than a $2 trillion market cap. So that's why I say so.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's funny how cool. It's funny how you know, when we talk, like when you look at like companies like you know, you look at the top, you look at the FANGs, you look at, you know, Apple, obviously Facebook, Google, you know, you look at these, you know, I mean, they're, you know, $1 trillion companies, Microsoft. But you see where they started. They're starting in the 70s. They're starting in the 80s. You know, they didn't really start grabbing any licenses until late 80s into the 90s. And because obviously, you know, it's when they needed to have, they had the software, but they had the mousetrap before, you know, they had the mice. So it took a little time. But infrastructure is growing at such a fast rate now. And because like semiconductors are starting to change, and, you know, Moore's Law, we're getting into the point where things are happening a little bit faster than what we're really used to. And can you imagine that if we're moving at the rate that we're moving at, you know, to make, in other words, what it took 30 years to make $1 trillion could only maybe take 5 years to make $1 trillion. Yeah. You know, you can get to those points, and you won't have you won't need the resources that you, like, in other words, you see what Apple had to build to make the $1 trillion.
Now it's already there.
Right. It's less is more, you know, you don't need as much to make it. So that those margins become so much more robust because, you know, now you don't have the overhead, but you have the revenue coming in. They're talking about, like Veve talking about $1 billion. You know how hard it is to make $100 million, bro? You realize how hard it is to make 100? He's talking 10x in this year. In this year,
and that's conservative.
Selling items for $6.99. What the hell is going on?
Yeah, so that's the thing, that why I like this more than almost any other project, more than almost any other company, including Tesla's, because yeah, let's say Tesla has, 20-30% margins on their cars, but they have to make an entire new casting machine for their Cybertruck. They have a lot of logistics. They have to ship cars. They don't have a mega factory in every single country or
Correct.
every single
Correct.
continent. They have
So
to move
they got to
stuff.
ship from the big house, right? Exactly.
Yeah, with us, they click a button and it gets here. Like, again, when we were saying before, where you had to wait 2.5 hours, and that's a long time. You remember 10 years ago when we said, like, oh, hey, look, this tape that I ordered from Amazon said 10 to 14 days. I got it in 8 days. That's amazing. And now if we have to wait more than one day to get a new phone case, like, I'm gonna write an angry letter. So the fact that they can do it so quickly, the transactions are right there. And again, all the infrastructure that is built with Apple and Google, they don't have to make their own cell phones. They don't have to make their own things. It's not like Nintendo. The only way to sell you games is to first buy a Nintendo Switch. They don't have to do that. It's already on here. Oh, I'm so bored.
You're psyching me out, because you know why? It's like even with gaming, like we're with respect to the metaverses, we haven't really like I look, all of the games that everybody plays a game, they're outside. In the TV is their screen. And then the games that have, like, obviously the VRs and the ARs with Oculus and stuff, yeah, you're there and you're kind of like in the games, but you're in the games but you have like limitations. You know what I mean? It's not like going into a game like say maybe I don't know, like Breath of the Wild, going into Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and being in the headset and having all of that space that you have in the game available while you're in the game. That's absolutely amazing. But think about all the utility that goes along with it, and all the money and all the coins and all the things that are involved in that, and the gold, and when you get treasure, and there's all value there. And these are the things that obviously we talked about in Ready Player One. There are the coins and stuff. Like, this is where the utility of the cryptocurrency or cryptocurrencies play the role in these particular spaces. And like, I know obviously, if you think that Zuckerberg is going to change the element of something that he built hundreds of billions of dollars, of value, and he's going to change it and not have like plan B, plan C, and plan D already in place, you're not wise.
Yeah.
So, that's where it's headed, brother. And to have Veve and have Omi in a one-of-a-kind situation, in a one-of-a-kind space, with the people that are one of a kind in the industry running the controls, the only thing that I see is challenging, which isn't a big thing, but this is the only challenge that I see that is on the forefront right now in the short term, is the hands on deck. And that's the only thing that like I'm challenged with respect to the growth and having the resources and the infrastructure to handle it. Other than that, man, like because I'm just telling you, for instance, like, so Alvear, now I don't have to say none. You understand, bro? He supplies probably a good 60% of the large bulk gem transactions off site, right? Off app. He's got his account has been flagged, and there's nothing there. He doesn't have any. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't even. Matter of fact, he don't even participate in all the drops sometimes because he's busy and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? But that's not the case. It's about he's emailed them, and it takes, they're not, they're not responding back in time. And they're getting, because there's so many people that are on the app, how many emails you're going to get? Oh, I'm locked out. What's going on? These are legitimately innocent people, legitimately that, they're not buying bad. Oh, maybe they bought a bad gem or no, they're not buying bad gems for nobody, bro. They're not doing none of that. This is not, they're not getting stolen gems. It's not like diamonds that you got in a store and now you're trying to sell them at the pawn shop. You're dealing. That's not like that. You know what I mean? These are just, off app stuff that's happening and it's in and out. And so, been doing it since the summer. So, I just think the infrastructure needs to be there because, his stuff is still locked out. Like, one of his accounts, it's like, You know, these are legitimate people, and I see it all the time. I read on Twitter, you know, I'm a legitimate person. This really sucks. You know, in the feed, I can't even do the drop today. I never even bought gems. You know, like stupid shit. Like how can you lock people out like that? How can you lock them out? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And okay, lock them out, but at least have the infrastructure set up for quick response, so they're not like off app or off site or offline for weeks.
I do think they will be able to go, and this is something that I think they will fix before localization. Because if they come out with, you know, translating the app into Mandarin and Chinese and let's say, you know, Spanish, and suddenly you have this problem 5x because now you have this problem in multiple different languages, I think they are going to address this and capture this well before they do localization. So hopefully in the next month or two. That being said,
you're gonna hire more people.
yeah, no, I think they're in the middle of that. And that being said, you know, I did a video on Elsa versus Superman the other day, you know, which one would be better. And somebody's saying they're thinking about selling a C3po in order to get an Elsa, because they consider Elsa a little more grail because she is the first Disney princess on the app. Let me know what you think about that while I go get some water.
So, if you're looking at C3po and R2d2 as a set, don't do that, okay? Because they're just a pair in a set. They're not the set. They're not the set. That's the first thing. The second thing is, everything is speculative right now, and demand is really what, you know, you can't predict demand because that's a metric of, you know, a timing issue, and you can never. There's
which one's going to go first? Yeah,
it's such a gamble. You don't know what's happening. I mean, who would ever think that R2D2 was going to be where it's at? Who would ever think that Fantastic 4 or 5 SRs were going to be where they're at? And I'm not saying for anything else, because we knew Grails were going to be where they were and stuff, but we didn't know R2D2 was going to pull away like that. Like if I had to take a matter of fact, I addressed this when I was in Vegas and I was on Foster's stream. I thought Mickey's hat would have more of a bang out of all of them, just because it's the Fantasia hat and it's Mickey's hat, and it's something that, I mean, I know it matches with Elsa, and I know it's like that's like kind of the match, but it's not really the hat, you know. It's because that's like a separate thing, you know. It's not like Bart and his skateboard, or, you know, Wally with the truck. It was part of the movie, you know. But the hat and Elsa, I mean, I'm not saying, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think the way they did it is because, you know, the Wally and the truck is Pixar, and Homer and the skateboard is Fox. I think because they're both Disney, I think that's why they did that.
No, I know they kept it together. I'm saying, and I see how they did, you know, obviously the Star Wars and everything, but you know, I can't really give advice on it. I'm going to be wrong, and if I'm right, I don't want to take a medal for it, because I'm so it's a flip coin item.
Yeah. No, agreed. I feel you on that.
If you had a gun to my head, honestly, I would take the Elsa, because I think it just, you know what I mean? I think there's more there. I'm not saying that there's not less C3PO or Star Trek, you know, Trekkie. I mean, Star Wars fans out there. I'm not trying to compare that. Yeah. But I think you know, I'm looking at Star Wars as like the older generational demand and collectors. There's not as many as the olders out there, even though there's a lot. But you can ride Frozen, and you could ride a lot of the kids that are like 5 years old now up into probably close to 15 years old that all know Elsa and they all know Frozen, and they're going to be there for another 10 or 15 more years. While the Star Wars, you know, how many times is, you know.
So like, I did mention that in my video the other day. Moonboy says in his 30s, 3PO is so much more iconic. And agreed, because people in their 30s, like me, they grew up with Star Wars, and Elsa wasn't really out until I was in the military when that came out. But again, like you said, any kid born in the 2000s, that like, to them, Elsa is their Pocahontas or their Mulan or their Ariel, and they're going to grow. And you know, a lot of those other ones did not get sequels, or if they did, they were straight to DVD.
Perfect example.
And this major motion picture. And I don't know about you, but when was the last time you saw a song from a Disney movie absolutely take over like Let It Go? For me, it was Hakuna Matata, but I don't really remember any other Disney song that took over the world like that. And like you said, like why am I so bullish on full self-driving, where people like my dad and older, people that are like in their 60s and above, like I will never trust the technology of a car that self-drives. No, only a human. Well, those people will die off in 20, 30 years, and people that are either not yet born or very young,
still going to ride that wave.
Yeah,
still going to ride that wave. And you got a perfect example is like, for instance, there hasn't been anything in Star Wars in how long? But Elsa, but I mean, not just well, I'm not saying like, I'm talking about like series, like movies and stuff, but like Frozen, like there's a Disney on Ice right here in Newark, New Jersey, in the Prudential Center. I'm already a product of my kids 2 times going to it, 2 times Frozen on Ice with Elsa, the whole, let it go, the whole thing. I never went to a Star Wars on Ice thing. I mean, don't get me wrong. And I grew up. In fact, I actually see Star Wars in the movie theater when it first came out. Back when I was born in 73. I don't know if I was 70.
This was the 80s.
79 or whatever. What year it was? I was 5 or 6 years. I don't remember. But I remember seeing Star Wars in the movies when it was in the movie theater. And but where how many times is Darth going to fight Luke? How many times do we know it's his father? I mean, it's like, you know what I mean? Well, like you can keep reinventing Elsa, and you can invent those characters, and that's the marketing push. I'm not saying that Star Wars isn't like this is not like a one versus the other or trying to demote, but this has to do with like shillings on a scale. And from my personal opinion, I wouldn't get rid of one for the other. If I had an Elsa, I would keep it. If I had a C3po and you had to do something and you wanted to, I wouldn't get rid of the C3po, because I just believe in collecting the whole set and trying to get all of them, regardless of the mid numbers. Yeah.
The only reason there's one part where I was going to fight is that there is a couple of, like, Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, the people that have made The Mandalorian and the Boba Fett series. Those are very good. And previously, characters like the Tusken Raiders, the Sand People, those guys. Please don't make a clip out of that. Whoever's viewing this right now.
It'll be a meme before the stream's over. Trust me. You'll have this like big like mask on. It'll be like a cover. Like the stand, the thing.
Yeah. So they were previously hated, like that. They were almost like people like racist against the Tusken Raiders, the Sand People, but they've now become like, oh, they're sympathetic because of the way they're shown in The Mandalorian. They're rewriting the lore and the in-universe legends of Star Wars. So I do think that C3PO, which is almost like as a joke in the later movies, can become really, really good in the future. But that being said,
they're going to cycle through this. You'll see the Death Star again. You're going to see, like Luke will be just real old. You know what I mean? Like, be like Yoda will still be there. There's always going to be something.
Force Ghost.
They always reinvent the wheel. Don't get me wrong. Listen, this is marketing. They got to make money. They don't want a franchise to die off. So they got to keep kind of like, relighting the candle. However, they're just going to, it's a repetitive thing. You know what I mean? No matter what.
Yeah.
It's
so when we have a couple of super chats here. One saying, I'm going to get him at some point because I had to collect all the Marvel Mighties. But the 2099, do you have one?
So I actually was just about to do a deal with somebody for the 51.
Okay.
The 51, and it was we settled on the last offer was 800,000 Omi.
Okay.
And it wasn't the guy I was dealing with. It was like his friend. It's so funny. All these deals that I'm dealing with, these people, it's always their friend. I don't want to say none, Randy. I swear to God, I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. How many? I don't know how much of it's true, to be honest with you, because the one that was asking. I guess you knew with the one with the trying to get rid of Spider-Man Secret Rare. Did you hear the story? It was for a friend that was in trouble. Did they ride that same wave? The kid Omar?
That's what they told me, and I don't really know what to think. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it's always about their friend. Everybody's got a friend. Anyway, look, regardless if it's a friend or not, I wind up picking one up because I got a good deal, and it was gems, and that's why I didn't have enough gems to get the enough left to get the uncommon Spider-Man from Brent. But I wound up getting it because Alvear bought it for me, But other than that, This is a set. I got the Spider-Man on the drop. This is not a set that I'm collecting. I just grabbed the Spider-Man because I got a good mint number, and I think it's going to get a little traction, and it has. I think it only has 4,000. I think editions. I think this one. So
yeah, I think it has less than that. If I'm not mistaken, this one has. Because even the ultra rare has like 3,000. Yeah, this has 2,099.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was the match of the year. I'm sorry. That's right. Right.
Yeah. We got between mirrors just saying thanks, and he enjoys this. So cheers, mate. So yeah, there was, I think, number 40. Someone sniped it. Number 41 was on there. For somebody puts that like $6,000.
6,800.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah. Oh yeah. So someone bought that real quick. And now it's at like 120,000. It's like, oh, all right, that's fair.
Listen, as long as it's like 4K floor, 4 or 5K floor, it's within means. Anything above that, it's just for flexing. That's all. Which is okay. I do it. We all do. I mean, I don't know if you have seen this. I just want to let you know for a minute. God Entry is another guy. His profile name. The Fantastic 4-5, the FF5, the Doctor Doom, secret rare.
Yep, got one.
If you go into it, we got a wall up because I have 4 of total of those SRs.
Yeah.
But 3 of them are obviously I have the lowest, which is the 241. I got the 755 and the 830. So, but God Entry has the number 2. He's got the 380 something. So I got 1. He's got the 2. I got the 3 and the 4. I think he's got the 5 and the 6, and then another guy's got like the 7. But we gotta look at the wall we got. 3.3 million. In other words, you can't get a sub 2,000 secret rare FF5 for under 3.3 million. That's what I like. Do you see it?
I'm trying to look for it now. I see the Fantastic Four number 1. I'm trying to search for it on the market.
Yeah, it's got the Doom comic, Dr. Doom.
Yeah, I know, but okay. Hang on. All right, so secret rare, and we have
low edition. Go to low edition first.
Yeah. Search from low to high edition number. Yeah, you guys got a big wall. Oh, there's 1487 actually. That is 25,000. But yeah, you can't get a sub 1472 for 3.3 million. You guys are awesome. You got even.
And we didn't do that. Listen, we didn't. This wasn't like a. This was look. I had grabbed one. I put mine. I had the lowest one. I put it for $1 million. Somebody, I don't know if a God Entry had it before the guy that had it before him. He put it for $2 million.
Yeah.
So I got the next one. I put it for $3 million just to play around. And then they put it for $3 million. And I got the low one that's at $1 million. I'm like, you know what? Let me put it for $3 million. So we just started this 3.3 million thing. And before you know it, then God Entry had picked up a couple extras. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, the lowest 8. And it's important, man. You got to get the low mints.
I agree. People that love when the band gets back together. Similar question, different pairing, C3po or Mickey's hat. I mean, like we were saying before, trying to sell one for the other is, if you want to get the set, get the set. For me, I'm not really nostalgic for the hat, and I like C3po better. So I would, at that point, I would just get what you like, because who knows what moon's first or what moon's harder.
For me, if it's in order, obviously the statue. I'm the partner. I at this point now, I mean, I don't want to say R2d2 doesn't, but he's got a lot of traction as a number 2. I like the hat as number 3.
Ooh,
Elsa number 4. I really like Iron Man and the Avengers symbol. I like them both kind of like right in there as I know they're a pair, but I think Iron Man first.
Yeah. I'm
keeping Bart in there because he was the first release. The skateboard, I think that the pictures come last. C3po, I'm sorry, before Iron Man, I think C3po. And then Iron Man and Avengers. Like that's kind of like the role. That's my personal opinion. Doesn't necessarily mean that the floors are in that order or whatever, but I think just on marketing and the way it is, but anything can grow. I wouldn't known R2D2 would have popped like that. I mean, it's, it's crazy. It's like, what would you rather have, 4 or 5, 1-1 or 1-2 Barts, or would you rather have 1 R2D2?
Yeah,
5 Barts or 1 R2D2. You know what I mean? And for the same money, I mean, these are, it's
hard. I mean, I mean, at that point, stacking, there are advantages to stacking. If something goes up 100, you don't just make $100, you make like $400 or $500. And, you can, if you need money, you can sell a couple and still have 1 or 2 left. And, I think in like a year, though, none of us will really need to sell anything unless they really want something else. Because, I mean, the need to sell gets less and less as more money gets pumped in, and we all make a buttload of stuff. And there's other things I think we'd be able to sell. There are some people that I've talked to in the Pokemon industry, like why did they get out in 2020 when I didn't get out until, last year, 2021. And they said, well, like they had been in for X number of years. And as soon as they like 10X their money, they like, now's a good time to get out. But for a lot of us, we've 10 or 20 or like 50 extra money already just on collectibles.
In months.
Yeah, in months, not much less years. At what point do you say that, hey, this is enough money, I can go and I'll cash out a little bit here, a little bit there, or you're like, you don't need to because you have so much OMI and you have so much other money that you're just going to keep these as fun?
Yeah, I think it has to come down to the person. I mean, because this is a global, it's a global phenomenon. It has reaches into regions that are where $20,000 a year can earn you a very decent living, into areas where, in some segments of, I would say even where you're living in Long Island, in some parts of California, that you need 6 figures or you can't even pay rent. So, and I mean that respectfully. So because it has such a vast reach, I really believe it's just really the person, because I think we went over this one time before, 150,000 or 200,000 or $300,000 transaction like I did with Profit, for some people that are in other countries, that's their whole retirement for life. They get that deal like I did. They don't even need VV. They're done. They're sitting on a beach for life, earning 20%, like Gruber was in Die Hard. It's one of them. But then a deal maybe living into areas of somewhere California or other ends of somewhere else that it's not that much in the sense of really cashing out and saying I'm good. It's just not enough. But we all share the same app. That's why we also have the same floors. It's not like this secret rare is going to be worth less in Singapore or somewhere else than it is in Africa or Brazil or Canada or something. I mean, there are issues with respect to the MTL, and there's a lot of questions with the transaction of the money exchange for gems, and it's like the gems are pegged to the US dollar. So that's kind of like something where the currency might not be pegged to the dollar. That's
a good point.
Right. And those are very valuable questions, and that will come up, and people will, they'll work around it. But to answer your question like directly, I think when we're all in the 5 to 10 million range, because we've touched million. I've been there and I'm there. I'm not saying, a bit just the OMI investment. With just OMI alone, when we get to 5 to 10 million, you're over the hump. You know what I mean? You're over the hump. You've got enough to breathe and do whatever. And by the time you start thinking about what the hell you want to do, you made another million already. So it gets a problem that you want to have. Yeah. But what I'm saying, it gets you over the point where, it's not money makes money faster than you could manage it. Yeah. And as long as you are not that, which I know me and you are on the same page. We're not that, gold chain, Bugatti drive-in, blow all our money like some of these rappers and these entertainment industry people, even actors have done it.
Yeah.
They've had multi-millions and went broke and stuff, and so I mean this is the live for now and not tomorrow theology. For me, I'm just I'm very blessed and very humble what I have, or the community that we have, and the friends that I've made all over the world, and obviously my friends and family that I have here that have it doesn't get any tighter than this, and I'm just blessed that I have what I have, and I'm it's awesome discussing it. I mean, we share a lot of the same. Obviously, we're on being on the East Coast board here. We deal with the same elements, not just
so cool.
Yeah, I mean, not just physical. With temperature. I'm saying monetarily. We deal with taxation that's different than a lot of parts of the country. We deal with political views because we're massive lib states. New York, New Jersey. It's tough. Where we are. To get a lot of things in certain directions, which is not a bad thing. Sometimes it's not, but this is what we share. It's people around the world don't even know what the hell I'm talking about right now. So, what I mean? They don't even know what that is because America is not the same everywhere. What I'm saying? You know what I mean? So, and neither is the value. So it's going to be cool. I believe in the excuse me. Philanthropy, that you proclaim a lot and that you have in your cards. I share a lot of that also. You obviously have some stuff that's a little more specific with respect to like animals and animal care. And I'm always, I mean, I used to breed hamsters in my mom's apartment. I had fish tanks. I used to set up fish tanks. I worked in the pet store before. I've done a lot of different stuff when I was younger, and I'm a sucker for all animals. I mean, I have had cats and dogs and everything in my life. So, what you're planning on, and you touch base a little bit here and there with that. It's pretty cool. Yeah,
I like it. You're talking about people and companies all over the world before. And what that got me thinking of other gaming companies that are, some maybe bigger gaming companies, some might be smaller. And like if I had like an app that, let's say, I created, and whatever it did, it doesn't matter. It could be apps for animals, it could be apps for plants, apps or whatever. One of the transactional things that I would take as payment would be OMI, is because that's, I would rather get paid in OMI, something that's a deflationary token, only going to go up, as opposed to dollars. I think other apps, maybe that aren't even related to gaming, most will, but some apps will take OMI because of that reason. I think when we start to go up, is that something that you see in the future for this app? Or for
the interoperability between the NFTs crossing chains and different, obviously, marketplaces for me is going to be a game changer. That's for the NFT side. The interoperability and utility of the OMI being moved around and having use cases in different aspects of different marketplaces themselves, or utility within the gaming. I mean, can you imagine like top gaming company like Niantic?
Oh, God, that'd be insane.
You know what I'm saying? Picking up OMI as an exclusive utility coin in all of its gaming and all of the Pokemon.
People were asking me, hey, do you think that Pokemon Go would take OMI? Like, do you think that one of the things that they could do in the app, they're saying like, hey, if you catch a Pokemon in Pokemon Go, not only could you transfer it to like a Let's Go Pikachu or Let's Go Eevee, but it could be like a special mint or a special whatever. Or you could take the Pokemon that you get in the app and transfer it into the game. That's have interoperability, and they could take it for OMI, and that would be great. I don't know, man. That's almost.
I mean, listen. What my daughter and my son, they just 2 days ago, the Crayon on the Switch was just released. So obviously we bought it.
Arceus. yeah,
Arceus, Crayon, whatever. Yeah, they've been playing it. They're already on like level like 40 or whatever. the Pokemon level. They're like level 40 or 50 already, and and I'm looking at it. It has a Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild like interface, the same kind of like landscape and stuff, and it's kind of that kind of like world with a map, and it's like endless. The graphics are awesome, but getting back to the Pokemon Go, the utility. Look, if you have a need like Fortnite, where you need to buy something for accessories of your character, whether it's a skin or it's a gun or it's whatever the accessories are, right?
Yeah.
Like obviously this is going to be in Veveverse, right? But like the actual is it going to be you're in Veveverse and like how deep does the game go? Do you in Veveverse and now you're in the Veveverse and now because you're already, however you're in Veveverse, whether it's a VR game or AR, and then in the Veveverse, is there like a place that you go in Veveverse into another gaming area in Veveverse? Is it that like layered? Where
that would make sense.
You know what I'm saying? But now when you're in there, is that a whole nother landscape of gaming that where you can utilize the token appropriately based on that? And then does it have similar burning based on the dollar or the expenditures based on whatever accessories that you buy, like you do when you buy NFTs? It's $1 to gem kind of thing, like $1's worth of gems at the price of Omi at the moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you got to realize we're burning where we're burning, but we were burning at a higher rate when we were 003 and 002. Now we're 007. We're burning at this rate, but
we're still burning a lot.
Yeah, but in a gaming, like what happened? But when Omi has the use case utility while we're in the game at the same burn rate, what if it's like very volatile that day while you're in a game and it's moving? Does it have a locked in rate that it'll burn, or is it in real time?
That's a good point. I don't know.
As soon as $1 gets spent right at that moment, it's immediately burned right at that moment, or
probably at that moment, I would say, yeah.
So it's just like you buying Omi at that moment. You buying the accessory, you're buying Omi. So whatever the price is at that moment, it's the burning at that rate right that moment.
Yeah, I would think that.
Yeah, so I'm just thinking millions of dollars are going to be spent in a 24-hour cycle, because we're on a 24-hour cycle all around the world. There's going to be the burn rate is going to be at such. Bro, we could, man, it's crazy. I don't see us staying at 007 burning it. We're burning at a higher rate every day that goes by.
Yeah,
it's going to get to a point where we're going to run out of gems in 2 years. We're going to run out of gems at this rate unless it goes up. It has to go up. We're going to run at it. We're going to run out of tokens at this rate in 2 years. If it's compounded the way it's compounded, people are adding to the app. If it stays at 007.
Yeah, they because people added 5 million gems the day that we had the Disney drop. That they added 5 million gems to the app. That was nuts. Also, I don't know if your kids have an Eevee in the game. Eevee is a Pokemon. It can turn into a whole bunch of different others. But when Eevee says its name, it goes V, and that's in the Pokemon game. It says VV pretty much in the game.
Hey, Luch! Get Luch over here real quick.
Yeah, so I thought my friend Megan sent that to me, and I was like, "Oh, that is so cool." Oh yeah, let me show him.
Hold on 1 second. He's come here. Randy has a question for you.
Yes.
Come into the thing.
Do you have an Eevee?
Ask him what you asked me, because he needs a little more. He has a question about something.
Do you have an Eevee in the game?
What game?
Pokemon Arceus. Do you have Eevee?
No, but I think it's pretty rare to find one in like the first area, because I think I've seen it before in videos, but like only a couple times.
Show him.
Yeah, so there's you can't see it's behind the girl's head right now, but it says V, like Eevee going.
Yeah, that's Eevee's ears.
Yeah. So that's it's just interesting. The name of the company that we like talking about is called Veve, and Eevee's the way it says its name is Veve. I thought that was pretty adorable. We're good. You can go back down to playing. Thank you though for your time.
Right. See ya.
Cheers. Peace. That's a cool kid, man.
Yeah, but him and my daughter. I mean, my daughter's been gaming. Matter of fact, all right. So it's It's like 10 after 10. It's almost, actually, it's a 10 after 11. Yeah, 10 after 11.
You need a bounce?
She's no. She's been gaming since 2:30 in the afternoon.
That's
a machine, bro. 9 hours straight, still with the headset on.
That's what I used to do also. Yeah, I used to do the same exact thing. Pokemon Puzzle League and this was without like, I wasn't playing against people online 20 years ago. I was just playing by myself.
I got to ask you something. You had was it a Genghis Khan PS10?
Trophy Genghis Khan, yeah.
How many are there now? In a 10?
PSA 10, there's 12 of them. So yeah.
There's only 12 PSA 10s and you had 2 or 1?
I had one. I had a PSA 4 as well, but I sold that to help get the 10. So yeah, it was I will get it back one day. Looks like at the time I'll probably have to pay like $500,000 instead of like the 285 that I sold it for. Yeah. And
are there any for sale right now? And if so, online?
Yeah.
How much are they right now? Right at this moment, like a right now buy now thing.
The same way where you can like flex on the Veve app, you can flex on eBay. The cheapest one is like $485,000. But if you went and contacted them, I'm pretty sure they do it for I'm sure you can get one done today for $350. But if you really, really hunted, you could probably get it down to like $325, maybe, but yeah, so some of that last year was probably that helped me get most of my Omi.
Is that the holy grail of all Pokemon cards, of all cards?
No, it's in the top 5. The grail would be the Pikachu Illustrator. There's maybe only like 30 of them, made and or released, and maybe like 9 or 11 of them are like graded. So there's no PSA 10 in that particular card. Like PSA 9 is the highest.
Oh, PSA 9. What has there been a sale, or what has the highest sale been of that?
It was last year, and it was a combination between cash and trade-in value of $1 million. So
it did go for $1 million, and that was a 9.
That was a PSA 9, yeah. So you had that, and again, that was cash and trade-in volume. The other ones after that are the Pikachu. There's trophy Pikachus. There's 3 of them, first, second, and third. So those can be seen as like one.
Set?
Yeah, those can be seen as a set. There's a super secret battle promo that Mewtwo is on, where it was a secret one. I think it was an invite only, and the people that were at there, they got it's called the super secret battle, and Mewtwo's on the cover. Like Mewtwo is on the card. So that's really cool.
That's in a 10 also?
That could be a 10, yeah. That hasn't sold for 6 figures yet, I think. Not because it won't go for it, just one hasn't sold in like 2 years. So that's
the Pikachu Illustrator, that's the top.
That's the grail. That's
yours, the one you sold is basically the second, I guess you could say, 10, PSA 10.
It is probably I would say it's the third, because you have a Pikachu Illustrator, and then you have the Pikachu Trophy Pikachus 1, 2, and 3, which are kind of its own set.
Are they sold? Are they sold separately? The 1, 2, and 3s?
They are, yeah.
And are they all PSA 10s also?
I don't. One of them might be a 10, but most of them are 9s and 8s,
wow.
and stuff. Yeah,
it's not even a full set of 10s.
Yeah, you can't get that. I think the Trophy Kangaskhan, which is higher than the Super Secret Battle promo. The Trophy Kangaskhan is the only grail that you can get in a 10. I think consistently, and then the Super Secret Battle promo, and those are like the top, like 5 or 6 that you would really want.
So you, arguably, you're in the market for like $2 million. You could probably scoop up them all, one of each.
Yeah, you could probably scoop up. Yeah, especially if you get let's say like a Pikachu Illustrator in a PSA 8 or something.
Right.
You might be able to get. I mean, at that point, it doesn't really matter. This one guy. Which if we get Pokemon, this guy's collection, like he's got all of them. He's got all of the trophy cards. He's been in the hobby for like seriously for 12 years. And he was buying and selling PSA 10 Charizards for like $5,000 and $6,000 years ago, and now they're worth like 300 something thousand. So yeah, it's a lot.
Wow.
Looks like Vladimir Columbus. Look at tags is buying Pokemon cards, dude. When
Listen, 100, yes and no, 100% in Veve, but I'm not going to lie. I mean, if we get, look, I got 30 to $40 million
store value,
it's like 100% guarantee that I'm going to try to scoop up what you just said, Randy. If I have to spend $2 million of it,
let me know. I know pretty much all the people that are in that high end group. I'll put you in contact with them, and we'll get them done for you.
Yeah, I'm tight with. I don't know if you know Vincent Zerulo. He's the CEO founder of Metropolitan Comics.
Oh, cool.
He's the one that actually at Comic-Con. He's the guy. I chat with him all the time. He Italian too. He was the one that had the MC1 9.2 original, not restored, but it was the publisher.
Oh, it was restored. You said
it wasn't restored. It wasn't a restored one. It was original. Yeah, but it was the publisher one where it had like the writing on the cover and inside of notes. Like it's like super freaking like it was. It's offered. It was bid only, And I actually had an interest in it. And me and someone else at a $575 each. It was like a 1-1 offer.
Yeah.
He's like $2 million, bro. Is like a minimum, bro. Like I don't even want to. I can't even talk to you if it's under $2 million. So that just tsunami'd my effort.
Yeah.
But the comics are comics and NFTs are going to complement each other, which they already have been, but they're going to do it even more. And you see elite comics, you see comics in crypto, you see what's going on, you see what's happening online, you see it. All the sales. You see elite comics like on Twitter and Facebook, how they're selling comics. They show the comic. It's on all the feed
I see comics and crypto come in with videos saying, "Oh, this comic's a sell" or "This comic's a hodl," but
no, elite comics. You can follow them either Twitter. It's also on Facebook, and you see they come in with the comics and how much money it is right away, shipped and everything. $5.95, $16.95, $3,000, $4,000, and they're all 99% of them. They're all graded. It shows you exactly which one you're going to get, and it shows a back cover and a front cover, and they're all nice. It's right in the feed. And elite comics, and I know Sean's like involved in that somehow because he kind of like corresponds with them. Yeah, and it's amazing, and they're matching all of our NFTs. Our NFTs are matched with these comics that are not. It's unbelievable. Some of the ones that we don't even imagine. Yeah, like some of the SRs and stuff that are coming out, and you see the comic come up. It's like 300. I'm be honest with you, this is crazy. Listen to this. How weird this is, right? Yeah. We'll sit here because we're psycho, right? And I'm over here, and I just what did I just spend on that on the ultra rare that I just bought from you today?
Like $2 million on me. Yeah.
Okay, so what are we at?
0.007.
About $14,000. All right,
yeah.
So I just spent $14,000 on your ultra rare, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it was nothing.
Yeah, it was that.
But wait, now watch. But I'll look at a matched NFT, a comic book that's being sold, a 9.8, which is like super rare. It's like a 1960 whatever. Yeah. Selling for like $6,000, and it matches one of our NFTs that we have that we collect, and it's like a Grail, whatever. It's like a great condition, and I'll say, "Damn, $6,000. That's a lot." Is there something wrong with me, bro? Like,
I think it's because it's one is considered like real money. It's dollars, and the other's it's just Omi. It's fine. Like
no, but it doesn't matter, Omi, because I could because you could pay in USDT. You can buy the comics in crypto. Yeah. You could pay the elite in crypto.
Oh, okay. So you could pay him in okay. So because again, like I'm thinking like because to be on my fridge, it's 2 common alligator Lokis a month, and if I were to go out and tell people, oh yeah, it's $120 a month on there, they might not pay it, but to go on and say, oh, 2 alligator Lokis, yeah, that's fine, easy. I'll just take it out of my NFTs, which are they'll make that back in a day.
No, and you know what? And I respect that. I'm not. I mean, listen. There's obviously, when it comes to like advertising and things like that, that's one thing. But like, for me to think twice about buying something that and it's a physical comic that has a grade in a CDC, and it's got a great, and it's a rare thing, and it's old, and like whether it's a Doctor Doom or a Green Goblin, or it's an Avengers or a Fantastic Four, it's an outstanding and rare, but it's like $6,000. I'll think twice about it. Oh my God, that's it's on the top end. But like, I'll just throw you like 14,000, like it doesn't even matter, and you're don't even give me secret rare now. You give me an ultra rare. It's like,
yeah.
And it's not even like a sub like 50. I'm not downing that. I'm just making a point. Like, it means so much to me to have done that.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for that, because there's no one else that could do that like you could. And I appreciate you taking my offer, because obviously it's worth more than that. But it's just about the mindset of being able to spend that kind of money on something. So I want to say frivolously, but think twice about probably like 50% of that value on something that has what I would say a lot more meat to the game versus uses the ultra rare, Spidey. Crazy, man. It's insane. I hope people listen and kind of understand that, because
I hope they do too. Especially, like, I guarantee you in a year, 2 years, however long, there'll be people that come in that would not know the struggles that we went through today. You didn't have MTL, you didn't have
the
only
struggles.
MSC, and
you're so that's a perfect word, bro. The struggles. It's
the struggle's real, man.
It's so true, dude. Go ahead, talk, because
they would go and they would take wait, so you on the phone with some guy, and not even you. I'm just the guy that bought the secret rare Spidey from me. So on the phone, like, he just sent you, $50,000 worth of Omi for your secret rare Spider-Man, and like, he trusted you. It was like, yeah, it's like, wow, like, I can't believe he sent someone to someone that he. Now, the reason why he's a buddy of, I guess, somebody that had is on my Patreon list or whatever. It's like, hey, he knows you, he talks with you very highly, and says you're a very public figure. But yeah, like, just talking on some random guy on the phone, and then saying, okay, I trust you, sending him $50,000 worth of Omi.
Well, Randy, I obviously I made this publicly known, but I mean, I could reiterate, I'm not as a public figure, though. I have a lot of followers, and I have a great following, and I enjoy listening to people and talking to people and sharing all kinds of stuff. But obviously, I'm not on your level of notoriety. But the transaction that I had negotiated with Dr. Profit. Oh
yeah,
we settled the negotiation. It took 2 days to go through the whole back and forth. No. But when we settled, we were in the middle of a drop that had locked the marketplace out, and Dr. Profit had sent me 2 100,000 USD Tether transactions already in my account. I had $200,000 already in my account. I didn't send him one USD. I didn't send him one NFT yet, because I couldn't, because they were listed for sale. If they weren't listed for sale, I would have been able to transfer them out. But because they were listed for sale, the marketplace doesn't allow you to. You have to
remove it.
Right. Yeah. So I said, I made, I don't know what this was no phone. This is all do $300,000 transaction with a guy that's in Portugal, and I'm over here, and he threw that to me, and he was like, yeah. And I'm like, all right. And I sent him my Omi address, bro. And the 15 million Omi hit the account. I got 15 million Omi, 2 $100,000 transactions in my account. And I'm like, I didn't send an NFT to this guy yet. And you know what he said? Don't worry about it. Like, he texted me, don't worry about it. After the drop, take your time.
Yeah.
This is insane. Like, anybody, listen, there's people who are robbing people on this site, and there's scammers for 500 gems, 700 gems. I see it all the time. Oh my God, I just got beat for 200 gems. But we're talking about more than $250,000. You know what I mean? Like, but what I mean by this whole story is that, and my point is that, like you made point, there's a level of trust here, and there's a trustworthiness, and we're spokes on this wheel. You know what I mean? And I'm proud to say that, and I'm proud to share that, because there's rare occasions in the world that happens twice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
no, agreed. Yeah, he's just it's weird, like to just by reputation and just knowing people and knowing others in the space, and it's like, yeah, it's fine. I'll send this to you. Just pay me like whenever. I know they're good for it. I maybe now that we're saying it, maybe I almost take it for granted that we're around such a lot of good people and we all know each other in the community.
Totally, I think about that all the time, bro. I think about that all the time.
Say hello to Sweet Pea.
Where's Sweet Pea? Let me see her. Is it a girl?
She's a girl. She's more big. Oh, okay. She left. She's gone.
That's okay. She's a little shy. It's all right.
Yeah.
I got a hairy girl too, but she's not a cat. I'm just kidding.
I had Danielle on the podcast the other day. It was good. It was fun. She
hairy?
I'm sorry? No, Danielle. I had Danielle on the podcast, not the hairy guy. And yeah, Sweet Pea was showing her butt.
That's awesome.
Where's a good cutie? Okay, all right, she's done.
See you later.
But yeah, I like I said, in the future where we could just do smart contracts, on the app and just like, all right, this for this. And that's another reason why, like, if I needed to complete something in the Veveverse, if I needed to go with an ultra rare Spider-Man, I could just rent it out. I'll just pay someone like $100. Okay, that's fine. Let me borrow it for an hour to complete this game.
Let me ask you something. This is great. This is great to talk about because we never really covered anything with renting. We always mentioned renting, right? But there's never any discussion as to renting the items. Not necessarily the what, because we're talking about renting, but really the why, and the aspect of the difference between renting it. Like, there's like not like a marketplace for renting where, like, when there's a marketplace for apartments, we're renting apartments, there might be ones that are cheaper than others, ones that are more expensive than others. But really, what's the incentive when mint numbers are only thing that really make the difference? It seems like when you're renting, the mint number doesn't really have any need. It's not really important. So, and why are we renting them? Are we like, oh, you have a Batman Risso. The floor is too expensive for me to afford to own. However, I'll give you 30 gems if you could. I can rent it because by me having one, it'll allow me to get into this game. And if I can win this game, I can buy. Maybe I'll win a Risso or whatever. So and that may be the aspect of it's like a key to unlock something. Why you can own one. That's why you need to rent one. But because because there's 1,750 Rissos, there may only be like maybe 20 people or 10 people and that maybe will need to rent at that moment. So what about everybody else? Like who, like, you know what I'm saying? What's the incentive? The person that rents it the cheapest? You know what I mean? Just to get someone, so talk to me about that.
So there's a couple of things that I could see with that. First being incentive. I think it would, what about Okomi's incentive to get people to rent? I think it would be really interesting if, I don't know if you played the game Everwing. Everwing, it's a Facebook game. You have like little dragons and they shoot things, and it's a fun game. But in the boss levels of those games, however many hits you get on the enemy determines how much loot you get when the enemy is ultimately defeated. So when you go on and you say, hey, they're going to do an enemy, like Vivi's going to drop an enemy that's going to terrorize the Veveverse, and you have to defeat it. And let's say its weakness is to Harley Quinn, Stephen Pugh Harley Quinn, or the weakness is to Alligator Loki, or whatever.
Or if you had, you can hit more like the shots on the head, take the most points off him, and to get up there, you can use like a 007 glider or helicopter. If you have a height, you can shoot him a lot easier. Is that what you're saying? Is that more like
pretty much? Okay. You could rent that out because again, in order to rent that out, let's say Okomi takes 2% of the rental fee. Let's say if you rent it for 10, 50, $100, whatever. That is so much Omi burn. Like they could have those every hour, and people would do it because, oh, actually, if you defeat this, the loot that they drop is going to be, let's say, something for your land, or it's going to be some type of master collector program.
Accessories?
Yeah, they could give you accessories that go with it that would otherwise cost you a lot of money. or they could give you
or
points.
maybe tickets to get into something else or something.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Okay.
And the other reason I think that to rent things is just to show off. Like my friend Nick is really big into CS:GO, and he had like a knife which wasn't crazy expensive, like a couple $100 knife, that he got in a blind box, and eventually he sold it. But he says like he misses like people saying that he would play online. It's like, oh, you got that knife, yo, that's amazing. Like he misses that, and he's like, yeah, I'd probably get it back again if I could. I think some people would rent something just to have that notoriety, to feel good for a day. Like let's say if somebody that, let's say, doesn't have a lot of money, let's say they win $500 on like a scratch off or whatever. Well, yeah, they could maybe make their life easier. They could try to invest, or they could live it up for a night. They can go get a haircut. They can go get out like a steak dinner and go to a movie, and they could live like a rich person for one night. And how often does that come about? Not too often. There's a guy it wasn't even a guy that I served with. It was a guy that he was like a janitor around the building that we were at in McGuire Air Force Base, and he would eat nothing but like tuna, and he would save up.
I don't mean to interrupt. You were down McGuire?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I spent a good 4 years down there with my daughter with the soccer tournaments, so the academy soccer.
Nice.
Down on that base all the time, bro.
Yeah, that was great. Played a lot of ultimate frisbee on that base. But yeah, he would go, and I forget where he lived, in like Guatemala or whatever, and he would tell his family and he would tell his friends that he was actually working for the US military, and he would go down there with not a lot, maybe like a couple $1,000, and just live like a king. Like, yeah, I'm like a pilot, and he would take pictures like with all the planes and whatever. And
it was all bullshit.
Yeah, it was all BS. So like, and I get it. That person probably only represents 1% of 1% of the people in the world that would do that. But that's still a lot of people in the world.
I know what you mean. Right.
When you have millions. So I do think you're going to have that. I do think you're going to have, and again, for gamers that say like, hey, maybe not, it's not necessary to complete the game. You can complete this level with whatever. But let's say for whatever reason let's say we have Sonic or Mario, and these happen to be the fastest. They're going to want to consistently rent them out if they can't get too much of them, just to complete them in the fastest amount of, complete them in the fastest time. Do speed runs. Yeah.
It's, can you pull up that, I just seen it come up, puzzle board. 11:32 time.
Metcalf law?
No, 11:32. One Veve.
That's 40,000. Oh wow. I thought it was between 20 and 30, but I guess they upped it to 40. Either way, yeah. And this is before localization. And I know I did say, marketing before, but they might not need to market. Again, it's before localization. Once we have the OMI token, a bunch of other people, that just adds another layer of people. Hey, this OMI token that's attached to this, let me go check out what it is. And that's people not coming in from a collectible side first. That's people coming in from an investment side first, which probably have a lot of money and could come in and sweep a lot of the floors.
But let's just talk about this number for a minute. Let's scrape off 50% of that number. Let's say 7 million. Let's say 7 million. Let's just go real conservative. Okay. I could say we're between 5 and 7.
Okay.
Let's say 5.
Okay, so figure
by the end of the year. Let's just say 5.
Okay, so that's 4x of where we are today.
All right.
And figure that would be, what do we burn average each day? About 100 million OMI. So
on the average.
Yeah. So if we're 4x by that point, so we're doing 400 million OMI each and every day at that point. If we 4x.
Get your calculator out real quick. Go sideways with it so we can get the 10 digits.
Okay. So at the end of all right, so we have 400 million OMI again at the end of the year when we have 5 million users.
Let's not go to the end. Let's talk the current, and then we'll put an escalator on it at a what do we have? Say 12 months. Every 2 months. What is it? How many? What do we have? About 1 million now users.
1.5 about monthly active users.
So we're at 3. Say we have a 3x. Let's say it's a 4x by the end of the year.
Okay.
Right. A 4x, and we have
So
we have 12 months. Say every 2 months we have 6 segments. So we gotta escalate it up. What are we now a day on the average?
about 100 million a day, give or take.
Is it really that much?
Homie burn, yeah. I mean, the other
average?
day, yeah, on average is about 100 million only burn. Yeah.
Okay, so every 60 days, 6 billion only every 60 days.
Now it'd be, yeah. I mean, and back in like November, December, it wasn't. It was not this much, but that's what it is.
So
right
if we escalate it somewhere like we're looking at around 1.25. All right, so you're looking at around 6. So yeah, like 20 billion every 10 billion a month. We're looking at around. We're looking at like 600 million. Wow. Is it going to be like 300 to 500 million every day? Is that right?
Yeah. If we have if we continue, if we are at this price, and this is if we have the same amount of drops of about 4 or 5 drops a week. But again, the last couple of weeks we've had a minimum of 1 drop every single day. So that's what is contributing to the burns.
Yeah, but we have to take in averages based on other licenses and season 2, season 3, season 4, season 5 of these others, and the other big comic drops that are spread out. And there's another 6 to 15 of them of the top Action Comics, Amazing Fantasy, and the 1s and the 2s and the 3s and the 4s of each of the other ones, not counting Pokemon.
Not counting Nintendo at large.
No. I'm not even getting into that. I'm just saying.
Just Pokemon.
Let's not even touch. Let's not even talk about another collectible. Let's talk about just multiple additional seasons of these that we currently have, and obviously new comics. And we just throw just Pokemon in there, and we increase the user base. That's all we're doing. Everything better than that's even better.
Okay,
we're at 300 to 500 million every day.
Yeah, and that's with maybe only like 5 or 6 drops a day. I think, or not a day, per week. I think by the end of this year, we have 10 drops a week. There will be some point this year where it will be the last day that we do not get a drop. And then at some point, it'll just be a drop every single day for the rest of time, unless the app goes down for maintenance or they're doing it. There will be a point this year.
Let me ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
This is very important, right? For everybody that's listening, how many users are we on right now?
206.
How many?
206.
So let me ask you this, right? All right, hold up here. Let me kind of like get my
okay.
bearing straight. So if we, because then we got Veveverse that is probably likely, right? And we're talking about average, we're not just talking about one day. We're talking about what the average will be. On the average,
I think yesterday's burn was 400 million, but yeah, average is about.
But we got Veveverse by the last quarter. So let's just say September. It could come earlier. It could be a surprise in the summer. We could get it in like June. Actually.
Yeah, we could get it summer.
Let's just say September, for argument's sake. We'll still have another quarter by the end of the year to count as part of that average. So if you talk about a September, October, November, December, or October, November, December of Veveverse, that's a whole nother compounded rate of burn that we haven't really accounted for.
Yeah.
So all right, so let's talk. What are we looking at? 5 to 10 cents by the end of the year?
I think by
the worst case scenario, like the bottom of the barrel, worst case, it can't go no lower than that. Like it's impossible to be 3 cents type stuff. I'm talking like 5 to 10.
Okay, I think by the end of the year, I think we are in a bear market in a crypto winter. So I do think we can get down to 5 to 8 cents. Yes.
Okay, so we could top out somewhere between 20 and 40, but we can always settle somewhere by the end of the year.
Yes,
obviously, because then 2023, 2024, we're going to be in a new Bitcoin cycle again.
Yeah, 2024 is a new halving.
Right. Okay. All right. So we're a good 6x from here. Like no matter what, close your eyes, go to sleep. We're 6x by the end of the year.
Probably 10x.
I'm just going conservative because we're just talking about burn rates being at numbers that are significant. The deflationary aspect of that alone is going to want investors to come in because their money's going to be worth more money, and then you got to realize inflation is going to go up.
So I am being conservative because, let's say, and again I think 30 cents, but let's say 20 cents. Let's say that's the top we get to, and then let's say we lose 60%. Let's say well most other projects are losing 70 to 80%. Let's say we lose 60, which I don't think we lose as much as that, but let's say we do that. Okay, that brings us down to 8 cents, and that's only if we get only to 20 cents. Losing 60% brings us down to 8. Right, and it's more than a 10x from where we are now.
Right,
so let's say.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay, you know what? You're right because we could go to 30 cents, and then we're looking at a lot higher than that. As you're losing 60%, you're looking it's at 18 cents. Then you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? At 60% on 60% on 30 cents, you're looking at 18 cents.
Loss of 60% would be 12.
Right. No, I'm saying at 30% is the top, not 20.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 60% drop from there is at 18 cents on the drop.
That would only be a 40% drop. The 60% because cutting by 50% would be 15 cents. So 60% would be minus another 3 cents. So we'd be at 12. But 18, I know.
You'd be at 12, right? 18% off the top, off right? That's correct.
So we're assuming that where are we at for the burn? You said So let's say we're 10x from here. We'll be burning 1/10 the amount of OMI burn. Which if the average,
if we're looking at what we were here, this is what I'm trying to calculate. We were looking at, like we were saying, 300 to 500 million at the current rate. If we 10x, we're going to be divided by 10, so we'll be at between somewhere like 30 to 50 million burn a day.
Yeah, which is still
30 to 50 million burn a day, but at a 10 cent valuation, somewhere around that range, give or take, per share, per coin.
Yeah.
That's so realistic too, bro. That's so realistic.
Very. And again, we're being very conservative with these numbers.
You got to just go worst case scenario because we could talk best case scenario. It could do something like 60 to 80 cents. It could do something. Listen, look.
Yeah.
Let's time out. Back up. Dogecoin had 7 zeros and it went to 74 cents. No utility, no retail market attached to it. No David Yu, no Dan, no Alfred, no Pokemon, nothing.
Yeah.
74 cents. And it's inflationary, not deflationary. And there's no control on it. They could add another 100 trillion coins if they want, and without no one saying none.
Yeah, and they add so many coins each day.
No, I'm just making a point. If Doge did that.
Yeah, I know.
In 1 year. And we got what we got on our side.
Plus,
we could be really like underestimated.
I know.
Like
there's no what Jeremy said when I said, hey, when I asked Jeremy, what do you do? Do you sell when we 40x? Because that would bring us to 30 cents. And he says, well, you have to understand that, and he's trying to find a good argument against that, saying, well, at that point we'd be in the top 5, top 10 crypto. And then he stops and he thinks well, do we deserve to be there? And well, there's no other crypto out there that's connected to Disney the way we are. And he stops his rebuttal. He's like, okay, well, yeah, that makes sense. Probably right.
Well, there's really no other crypto that's attached to any kind of vertical market like this.
Not like this. I mean, on a really small scale, maybe like Decentraland or Sandbox, because they have mana and sand, but it's nothing close.
They have no marketplace like this. It's not. No. It's not. It's not. No, I'm saying it's not burn associated. It's not associated with a burn. It's not. It's not deflationary. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. There's nothing.
It's not like you're in Decentraland or you're in Sandbox and you buy land and it's burning the coin. The circulating supply don't go down.
Yeah. My golden goose scenario is if let's say FOMO sets in, we're in a super cycle and we do get the VV burst by summer, and we're still in that we get 50 cents is no problem.
If it comes earlier than the fourth quarter, because we'll kind of beat the crypto winter. Oh my God. We would want it to go higher, because if we're going to lose 40 to 60% of the number wherever we're at, imagine settling down in the crypto winter at 30 or 40 cents. That would be sick. If our bottom is 30 cents or 25 cents, because that'll be the new support. We springboard off that. We hit double digit. You're going to go $3, $4, $5, $6 from there, and it'll be double digits.
And that would make us. And again, towards the end of the year plus, we'll be burning from a circulating supply. I forgot about that. Oh my God. Yeah. I forgot about that's right. No more reserve, bro. Yeah.
Oh my God. You just, oh man.
So that's why this goes to, again, if we do that.
Listen. Yeah. Let me just give you the ultra rare back. Give me back my Omi, bro. Let's just make you just convinced me, bro. I need that. I need those Omi back now.
This is why I said, like, okay, I'll take less than what is
knuckles. Do the knuckles. Give me some knuckle crack in there.
Get this bread. I love this game.
Get this bread. Oh man.
Like,
wow. I hope everybody listening really kind of understands the math that's involved, the formulas and these models. People that are listening, this is not exaggerated. This is actual factual numbers. These are actual real numbers. And when you and Randy, you bring a perfect point up when you talk about bottlenecking and dealing with that. And like, we're already dealing with it. Our drops, we're fractions of a millisecond. We can't even get something that has 10, 20, 30, 50,000 additions. And we're fractions of a millisecond sold out. I mean, if that doesn't speak volumes in the sense of how much more do they got to give us for us to fill our coffers enough to say, all right, that's enough. Like back in May when you're hitting for the Marvel Comics and you're hitting buy now and you're like, you know what? I got 18 of them. I spent $150 on all these. You know what? I'm done. I'm done hitting it. And you got like 3 secret rares. You don't even know what you got. And you're like, you know what? I'm done. And then you come back the next day and you go on the app. And you still see the buy. No, you still see the buy now button there.
Yeah.
Remember that? Remember that day? Those days?
I do.
You went back in the app and you were still, bro, you were able to buy him. It had a couple, you have like 150. There was the buy now button was still left in there if you want to buy it. In fact, I will remind everyone, Captain America, common and uncommon collectibles, as late as September, I might even say October, you were still able to hit buy now and buy them
at retail, and
right there on the app.
And the only reason
the crazy thing is all the 40s and the 50s I think no one got them.
They're burned.
I have the 61 common or the 62, and I think I have the 61 or 62 uncommon. And there's no one else have ever listed anything lower than that. Like maybe one, maybe lower than me, and that's it. So all the 40s and the 50 mint numbers, they're gone. Did they burn them? Didn't David say something they were going to burn? They were just going to.
Yeah, they did burn a lot of them. I think they even burned a couple rare as well. It was the common, the uncommon definitely, but I think they might have gotten the rare. And it wasn't just like a couple hundred. I think it was a couple thousand.
Bro, that Captain America set that I have, I'm not selling that. I don't care, man. I know I moved on with the MC1, even though I have another one. I know I have obviously another Spider-Man. I got rid of that. But my Captain Americas are so, I got 41s, bro, and 41s all across and 42s. That set is so, man, when they start burning things because no one bought them, can you imagine? And we're fractions of a millisecond sold out. They can't even give them away. Those, I mean, it was only a few months ago. It wasn't like it was, that was back in like last April. No, it was like September. Yeah.
So there was, so we burned 288 million Omi today. And there was $2.6 million were put onto the app to buy gems. So that's a lot. That is a ton. That's so much. Now we did have 2 drops.
Think about it from their view, looking at us. Do you think they're looking at us like, what are these people doing? Because they never expected to have jams up in their app that was going to so soon. I mean, maybe they had it like, maybe a couple of years from now. But they didn't think that we were going to bottleneck this early from the release of only a year ago, arguably.
This would, I think they they're very conservative, probably for good reason. Like lowered expectations and under promise, over deliver. But that's why I said, people calling other people crazy. I can't. I'm a little salty that Cavell called $10 before I did, because I didn't see it. I didn't see. And again, I'm not saying it does that this year or next year at end of the decade. As we were talking about before, but he's the one that gets to claim that he thought of it first, and he did. He saw it first. I didn't see it until literally a few days ago. If Kathy Wood hadn't have come out and made that claim about Ethereum, I still would not believe $10 by this decade. I would have said maybe 2030s. Yeah.
But you know what? She brings up the point of a market cap of a stabilized supply of Ethereum. A staked, arguably, if E2 kicks off in a year, 2 years, or whatever, with their staking, it's a stable supply for $20 trillion. But like, we don't ever have to be in the top 10 to be $10. Because if we're deflationary and we lose, our market cap still might only be like 150 billion. We could stay at 200 billion coin for the longest time and then go down to 100. Like we could, you know what I'm saying? Like our market cap can be 100 billion and we could be $100 coin. We could get to a point where we only have like a $10 billion market cap, but we're like $1,000 coin.
No, there's no way.
That's the reality of it, because if our supply keeps going down and the price goes up, our market cap will never get to the point. It'll never be like we're $100 and we're 100 trillion.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
I do, and there is reasons why that OMI can be fractionalized, is because they know that day will come where, oh hey, something's $1 and OMI is worth multiple dollars. They do know that can happen, and I'm glad that
can you imagine what the NFT the market cap of the NFTs will be worth? We could do market caps. We could do market caps right now.
Millions and millions.
No, I'm talking about every collectible and every comic out there.
Oh, I thought you were just talking about one. Like, what's the floor?
No. Like, the entire NFT portfolio from day one, from the Todd all the way till today, the very last edition that was printed, every single one, and do a market cap on what that's worth. Is it worth more than what OMI's worth? You know what I'm saying? Because this is the marketplace's market cap. It's outside of the OMI's coin token market cap. It's different market caps.
I don't. That'd be so hard.
Could we be 2x what the coin's worth? Could we 3x what the coin's worth? Because these are separate assets.
I think that's true. I mean, I think both would be classified as well. I think the NFTs would be like an alternative asset, and the coin would probably be. Well, it is a utility token, but it's I don't know what you'd classify it as.
I don't know, because the NFTs have utility too. I mean, animated. I mean, think about that. I mean, it's like, it's the same.
Yeah. Bargaining chips is a good point. Again, give me a new car, or give me an NFT. Well, the NFT isn't going to degrade. The NFT isn't going to lose value, as soon as you drive it off the lot.
Listen, are you going to be able to take OMI and buy an NFT? Are you going to be able to sell an NFT and get OMI?
Yeah, both ways.
There's the trade right there. That's the you're matching it up. So, I mean, I don't know, man.
But I mean, at that point, I would feel not sick. I would feel not good to sell at $1. It's like, when this goes to $10, like, okay, I could have 10x my money again. $1, I'll still sell a little.
That's why we always say, when is enough is enough.
That's a good point. It's a good point. Getting us back to reality here. We got instead of in the future, back to the present time. He's got 2 Amazing Spider-Man #1 rares. Would you sell the floor because he's a small fish in a growing pond? Would you sell one of those for a Donald, or a Minnie, or Mickey, or what else would you buy with the 700 gems? Or would you just hold on to the comic and have 2 of them?
I mean, if you have 2 of anything and you can buy and always diversify, I do it. And certain situations where I feel there might be some equity or an asset that might have near-term increased value that I believe is gonna pump a little bit. Always drop day and later drop day is not a good time to really utilize TMV because you really don't know, it's people coming in and out. And then there's a lot of people who they sit back and they don't even get into it, even though they might be collectors. They let the market stabilize, and then they come in and they start sniping. And then you see floors go up again because of that reason. You know, realize if we have 1 million, we have more than 1 million, but just say we have a million, but only like 40,000 or 30,000 people are in. Where's all the 900,000 people that didn't participate in buying anything? Are they ever going to come into the market? Are they ever going to come into owning something? Yeah, eventually they're gonna. And that's the whole. That's why I talk in waves. They come in waves. That's how floor values go, and they come in waves. Floor values, they go up in waves because it's the next segment of people that want to come into that. I don't want to say it's their FOMO moment because it's just timing. That's really all it is. It's just a segment of, you right at this point, you have, obviously you're talking about getting rid of one. When you say sell, whenever you say the word sell, there's a buyer on the other end of it. They're buying your rare. And now they're going to list your rare that they buy more than that you sold it for. So that just increases the floor of that particular item. And then so on and so forth. So if you look at this on a grand scale, and now you're taking it and you're going to buy a Donald or a Minnie or a Mickey from someone that's selling. So when you put it back on the market, you're increasing the value. So you just brought up the value. Every transaction has a coexistent factor of an increased value of the next time you list it, because you got to list it for more than what you just bought it for if you decide to list it at all. You know what I'm saying? If you decide. So this whole ebb and flow of the market happening on a daily and weekly and monthly basis, that's what moves these markets. It's just where you get to a point where it's like you're at like homeostasis because you're in a weary area. You're in an area where, you know what? It's like Spider-Man. It's like Secret Rare Spider-Man. It's been just coasting at 85,000 a floor, but it hasn't gone up. It hasn't gone down, but it hasn't gone up. And every now and then you'll get like a 79,000 or 80,000, 82,000. But no one's coming in. They ain't like this wave of people coming in with $80,000 and just saying, I want to maybe somebody on that floor. It ain't happening. It's not liquid. You know what I mean? These markets are going to become that because
I think that will change when
the ebb and flow of affordability is going to get to a point where it's like, it's out of my range. And then they're going to go up on it. It's too much. Yeah. And then they move on to something else, and they move on to something else. But the remnants that they left behind that they didn't want to be a part of, those are the remnants of unaffordability, which is like 60 grand, 80 grand, 100 grand,
I think that when we get OMI to NFT, that type of thing, that will make Spider-Man move again. We get OMI to NFT and people say like, or I just have a crypto to NFT. Once you have people saying that's really not a ton for people that are crypto rich, especially when OMI moons. I might get that back at some point.
It's nothing more than OpenSea. It's just that we're not using ETH on the app. It'll be OMI.
Speaking of which,
right?
We were talking about floors. Currently, the market cap for the collectibles are like $1.6 billion market cap, which I think is nothing considering what we have, and also considering that's as of last week, and that's just for the floors. Yeah, it's just for the floors of the collectibles.
Is that what about comics?
I that might include comics.
Okay.
I think that includes comics, but that doesn't really include special mints, though. That doesn't include like the same number
It's floors.
Yeah, it doesn't include anything. So
what do you 5x it? 10x it?
I don't know what you do. I don't know what the best thing to do with that was. Maybe not that much.
Because really only the top 10% really experience that kind of a mint number issue, where it matters that much.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what this, because the NFTs held up pretty well when Bitcoin took a dump last week or 2 weeks ago, and OMI took it down with a 1.008 to 0.0058.
You see what I bought, right? I showed you that. You like that little 5.8 I caught, right? You like that?
Yeah. Yeah. You got it good.
3 million OMI, bro, at 5.8. And I just gave you 2 million OMI. So what did I really pay for that UR? Be honest. Do the math.
That's true. That's true. It's actually not that much considering you bought down here and then it rose a little bit.
I'm just saying, just from that most recent buy that I just picked up, I showed you the trade. That's what I'm saying. Look, none of us are geniuses, and we there's a lot of luck in this, right? Yeah. But you have to take the leap. You're never going to know if you're unlucky or lucky unless you take the leap, because everything else is just speculation. Well, if I did this, if I did that, and you're always going to count yourself out. And then you know what you're going to do? You're going to get into FOMO crazy when things are pumping. Everybody's going to buy at the tippity top from people that have bought when they were at the bottom, because you got to buy from someone from the top. You got someone selling there.
Yeah.
And then there's only one way when you're on the top to go, and that's down. And then that's where, people lose value. So and we're on the bottom right now, bro. We're on the bottom. Everybody's like, oh my God, it's 7. Oh my God. Yeah, I know. But when it's when we get a Pokemon announcement, or we get an exchange or exchanges announcements, and it's like 3 cents, people are going to wish they had, oh my God, they're like, wow, there was 2 zeros on that. Why did I why did I just empty out my
bank account?
Bank account, empty out, sell.
And that brings up a new type of investor that didn't know about this beforehand. They see this at 8 or 10 cents, and they're like, yo, this is going to go to $1. And then they, that type of FOMO in, because they don't know what it was before. They just know what it is now. It's like Thanos when he says, I want a society that knows not what it has lost, only what it has been given.
Humble AF, bro. Humble AF, bro. All day long, man. I love Thanos. What's so crazy? It's so weird how, I used to say, one of the most popular of the most powerful villains of all time, Thanos, like how much of an impact he's had in MCU.
Yeah. And
his comics and his NFTs have done horrible. I have, that whole set I have, and all 9/8, except that one, which is the Albuquerque variant, that ultra rare one, was because of rarity and scarcity. But other than that, why isn't it, you know what I mean? Like, even though it's a comic, but he's like the guy, you know what I mean? He's like the top villain guy, of the time. Endgame, Infinity. He's always, he's the Gauntlet, Infinity Gauntlet. He's the guy with going to get the stones. He's killing, and so you would think he would be that popular.
Comic Thanos and movie Thanos, way different. Because comic Thanos in most comics just he kills people because he wants to literally impress death. And then in the movies, he wants to just snap all life, or snap things, he wants to snap so things are balanced, people, it doesn't get overpopulated. He doesn't want what happened to his planet happen to other planets. So two different Thanos.
So the Thanos in the comics, he's just a badass guy that just kills people for nothing. But in the movie, he has actual, there's a segmented theology behind his, method to his madness. So, he has. Yeah,
there's 2 things to address there. Your son is right. He falls in love with death, and he wants to, in the original Infinity, or the Infinity Gauntlet, he goes and snaps fingers just to impress death, to try to get with her. But in the movies, it's coming out now that the reason why he wanted to do the snap, that he didn't really explain to Tony Stark or anyone else, saying that you're not the only one cursed with knowledge, is that he knew, if you saw the Celestials, he knew that the Celestial inside the Earth was going to hatch, and it was going to destroy the Earth. And well, how do you stop that from happening? You take away half the population, and you take away its power supply. So he was doing the same thing as the Eternals. He just did it in a more genocidal way. But then also, the
Democrats are doing it. Same thing. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do. I don't.
Oh no, it's okay.
You got to exit that out. You got to edit that out. But anyway, but yeah, season 1, anything Veve is revolutionary. When we're on season 7, people are gonna say, yeah, season 1 through 3 is Veve is revolution. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's 10. When you're on season 10, the decade, they're gonna say, oh my God, season 1 through 9 was like, oh my God,
Yeah, I think that even like right now, people that, let's say, are just getting into Pokemon now, and they get into Modern because it's easy to flip and it's easy to do. It's the chase cards are fun, and they all want that first edition base set from Pokemon from 20 years ago. And the reality is that they just can't get that sealed product. They can't get that whatever. Now the sealed product does not exist for Veve. That does not. And even the first edition, Shadowless, and base set, people that don't want the first edition, PSA 10, the highest graded, they can just go and say, I'll pay, a quarter of that or whatever, and get the PSA 9 or 8, or they can get Shadowless or the unlimited version. But they will not have that option when it comes to Veve NFTs for season 1, because they're not graded in these different ways. It's just you get 1750 of the ultra rare, and that's it. So there's no cheaper option in this one, and that's why I'm very, very bullish on season 1 as well. So Cryptos and Tacos was right. Homie Player was trying to refinance their house to get Homie before it takes off. I would have done that. I would have sold my house. I would have completely.
It's funny everybody's saying that. You know, I paid off our mortgage with some of the money that I got, that, you know, from that deal. I don't have a mortgage.
Oh, nice. No, I'm surprised you had one already. I thought you would have paid that
off.
off.
I'm saying, you know, in relationship to what was left, I'm saying, but I just took care of it, you know, and so it's you know, people are talking about, you know, refining out, you know, selling what you know what I mean, like going the opposite way, like pulling the equity out to go. But I mean, it's a great argument. I mean, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
If you want to take, you know, 50, 100, 200K out, and put some in tether to hold, put some in OMI just in case it goes down, you know, put some in tether, you know, in case you want to buy low, and I mean, or have some saved for Veveverse. I agree with all that, because, you know, that's where the investment is gonna make sense. But we don't. There's no crystal ball, and, you know, I believe in the bird in the hand to some extent. And Randy, you know, you're like probably out of everybody I know. I mean, even I know Cavell's got a big bag, and he's just, you know, he's all in also. You know, I wish the best for all of us, more so you and obviously other people who are all in like that, because you're not diversified or nothing, you know, and it's a wow. But if you are right, which, oh man, whew, it's what was that thing, man, when Cypher and not Cypher, what's in the Matrix? No, in the Matrix, what was his name in the
Lawrence Fishburne?
No, the guy that was in the chair, the one that was doing the computers. He was in the chair. He was controlling. Not Cypher.
I am not having a.
I'm sorry, bro. Anyway,
my brain is not picking up.
He said exciting times, because they all had, like, believed in Morpheus's belief. They had the faith that since Morpheus was so passionate about believing that Neo was the one, and he was going to bring them, you know, and bring Zion and free everyone, and this was going to be the way. And Morpheus was believing so much in Neo that it was going to happen. And so, like, when he said, you know, like, you know, when he said, I forgot if it was Cypher, I forgot what he said, but he said, if he's right, and I believe he is, we're in exciting times, because that's where you are. You know, you're in this, like, if you're right and you are correct about what you got going on and how much chips you have stacked, you know, you know what I'm saying? Hockeystick.com, bro. This chart is going to look like there are going to be some candles, bro. They're going to think it's a seance. I mean,
it is so crazy to think that. And again, you know, with your extra two, I have like 127 million ish OMI now, and so that if I just sell a little bit, and the good, a lot of it's going to be spent on land, a lot of it's spent on Pokemon, but the amount of, if I sell a little bit and I still have 100 million OMI by the time we do reach 2030, and it's $10, that's $1 billion.
It's not going to, you know what the greatest thing about it is, you're going to be obviously a millionaire and a decamillionaire before that time comes. So it's not even going to matter. Like, you're going to be dealing with millions and tens of millions of dollars before the 80 to $150 million range ever even comes to, you know, fruition. So, you know, that's it. Having that kind of wealth, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Whether you have 10 million or 10 billion, it's not going to make a difference, because by the time that time happens, if you have 1 billion and 8 billion, it's the same thing. Unless you're that guy that spends 200 or 300 million on yachts, and it costs you $250,000 a year just to maintain. You know, if you're that guy, then that's a different thing. And I don't think you're that guy. So,
no, I would not.
You'll be fine, bro.
Me and Danielle are deciding maybe one day, maybe we get a 4-bedroom house because we both want an office. So that's 3 bedrooms. And then we want a guest room at some point. So, but again,
what about my room? You nuts, bro? We'll give me the finished basement. I'll be all right. I'll take the whole basement. I need a pool table. I need a pool.
We didn't even think of, I mean, I guess in the future, maybe we could get 4 or 5. I don't know.
You'll do it. You'll see what happens when that time comes. You make your decisions. You know, for now, it's a tank. The 1207 addressed us. Tank or dozer. It was tank.
Oh, okay.
Tank, yeah.
Gotcha.
Tank. Yeah, I think his name was Tank.
Does he put me up in a tree and feed me with a slingshot?
What would that mean?
I think it just means like, hey, can I just live on your property and you just feed me deviled eggs?
Oh, you put me up in a tree on your. I see what you mean. And feed me with a slingshot. And feed me with a slingshot. Oh God, that's.
Yeah, I mean, you know, definitely bring everyone with you. Definitely, like I said, I want to party. I want to go and, you know, I mean, yeah, there's. What's the point of having this much? Obviously, you know, helping the planet and helping animals, but it's better to have it if you can't have fun with the people that you're on this journey with. Like, I can't wait to go. We still haven't met. We still haven't like been in the same, shared a drink, or we still haven't shared a meal. One of these days we'll get the gals together and we'll go out at some point. Even just
it makes no sense, bro. We could meet halfway. We'll just go to Staten. We'll do it in Staten Island. Because you're halfway to Staten Island, I'm halfway to Staten Island. We're in the middle. We meet in Staten Island. We eat, we drink, whatever. You know what I mean? Because it's like it's still city. It's still Staten Island's like it ain't New York, but it ain't New Jersey. It's weird. You know what I'm saying? So it's perfect for us.
We do go to Jersey every now and then with our friends Joe Marie and Jay, and you'll love that. They're great. They're fun too. So we'll set up a thing. We'll set up a good time. My friend Jay got the. He's got a few million on me. He got a secret rare alligator when it was like $1,000. I was like, yeah, man, I'm in.
He was one in 1 point. I call them the 1.1ers, bro, because it was sitting at 1.1 for like so long, and I just seen it. I'm like, wow, like it's cheap. It's undervalued. I immediately. What is it now? What's the floor on the SRs on the Gators?
It dropped to like $2,000.
Did it?
Which is fine.
It was like was it like 5?
It was 4 at one point. It was 4K.
Okay, 4.
But still, it's a 50% dip. So like if I didn't already have 16 of them, I would be like, all right, maybe it's time to get another. But you know, I just have so many already.
You got 16 secret rare alligators?
Yeah. So I've 2% of the supply, which is nice. Because if there's 800, 8 would be 1%. So I got it's 2K now. Or 2,100. But I have, because I charge alligator lokies for my fridge, you know, the common. I have 144 common alligator lokies. So it's not 2% of the supply. It's only like 1 point whatever, like 1.4, 1.5.
Yeah, Loki is one of them. Loki's another sleeper. I loaded up on the journey into mystery. I'm probably going to be buying another 40 more and make it a cool 100 because I have over. I got 65 now. But I'm another 35 or so more, and just to make it a cool 100 on those commons, because Loki, and I don't know, you watched the series? Are you watching?
Of course, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I'm keeping up with Hawkeye and Bishop, and that's cool.
That's great.
I mean, it's a lot of stuff happening. You know, I mean, it's all kind of coming together. It's all separate. But I see it kind of, you know what I mean? You kind of see kind of like how Marvel's like connecting the dots here because they're all separate worlds going on. You know, things are happening, and there's not too much overlap right now. But they're gonna start putting the glue on, and things are gonna come together. And then we're gonna get like a big movie. I know Fantastic Four's coming. I know they're doing like a FF.
I can't wait. I can't wait for Multiverse of Madness to see what type of characters they have from different universes, the ones that come through. I'm very, very excited for that.
When you're in the movie theater, like when we're watching, when we're in No Way Home, man, the excitement and the screaming and the whistling, man, it was freaking bananas. The popcorn getting thrown, people are screaming, who's up? People, can I get a hey? Yeah, my God, everybody's like, bro, it was like, bro, you have no idea, bro. What a freaking wild movie, bro. It was like insane. And when Daredevil came out, like, when you see, he's,
I
dude,
lost my mind. I did not know that one was coming.
People started screaming because that's a good Daredevil. It was the best one. And he fucking freaking, that was everybody screaming. Then you see Andrew, what do you call, Spider-Man. He comes out, and then Toby. And then they're fighting each other. And then what's his name? And then Andrew saves what's her name?
Yeah,
that was so sick, dude. Everybody's crying, who's screaming, whistling.
Oh,
like I'm ready to tell everybody shut the. And then at the end, with Venom and shit, like that whole situation with the amebio.
Yeah.
Fucking bro, it's fun. It's fun. I was never really into it as much as I am now. And because there's a lot of characters that are making moves, and when you're invested in the app and you're learning about, I'm reading the comics too. It's actually pretty cool reading the comics because you get a chance to see stuff from an aspect of time, because age Grail books, it's a different kind of sediment of the writing. I don't know if you noticed that, like the presence of the like the detail. It's a little different. And the way that it's the script is different than the newer stuff, newer age, even Silver Age. So,
the ones that I really, really love are there are Civil War, Secret Wars. Like those are Secret War, especially, is so freaking, like they're both good. Civil War is great. The comics, especially that's
still to come out too. That when that drops, imagine.
Oh, Secret War, yeah, Secret War is gonna be fantastic. That's. They could be building up to it, but they would have to change so many things around because Cap's not around anymore, for the Illuminati, and neither is Iron Man. So they would have to maybe get a new Iron Man from another universe.
No, I'm not talking about a movie. I'm talking about a drop. Like I'm talking about. That's still to come. I'm saying, that's going to come.
Yeah, that'd be. Oh God, the Civil War comic. I'm all over that. I would trade Again, not because I think they'll be worth a ton, but just because I love those comics, I would get.
But you know what you do? You have listen. Look, if you have a lot of liquidity and some of your other items, you got like 100 of something, like you have 140, whatever, because you got it through your Patreon or whatever. If you want to liquidate like 5 or 10% of it, dump it, because then it's going to give you the liquidity to go get and spread your wings out into the other, the other avenues of those other NFTs that you get are going. You know what I mean? Like it's not like you have 2 of something. You're like, oh, I'm going to trade 1 for that. That's different. You know what I mean? But when you got like 140 or something, you can get rid of like 5 or 10 or 15 of them and still have 100, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It makes sense at that level. You know what I mean? To spread your wing and diversify into the other.
So part of, I agree, but I do have a couple million on the app, which I will use, but I've told people, and again, I'm a man of my word, that I will not sell any of my Loki, secret rare, common, or ultra rare. So those I'll rent them out. But I just to be a man of my word, to say like I cannot sell, because I've already told people that I wouldn't. So
listen, there's a part of me that I call that the it's like a I don't know, Dr. Profit blood. It's non-selling, diamond handing. Deep cover, chronic album type, it's like one of one. There's people who are strong, and it's if you can do it, and you have obviously either enough financial guidance behind you, or you have the budget and you don't need to, that's fine. It's just you might have 200. You may what up? I mean, you're going to corner the common market in that NFT. I mean, at some point. I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to burn?
I don't know. Maybe I would do giveaways because if I'm not going to sell them, at least I could maybe give them away. Yeah, maybe that would be something like, if I do on the Veveverse to do like talent competitions, or I do like open mic nights or whatever it is, and let's say the winners, let's say second place gets 1 common Alligator Loki, and winner gets 2 common. Now if they're, let's say at that point they're like $300 per, I don't want to be giving away $1,000 a night, but yeah, I think that'd be fun to do something like that.
You ever think about opening up? Because I was thinking about this. What if we opened up like a bar in Veveverse, but like your avatar drinks, but your avatar, as your avatar is walking, it's stumbling and bumbling, and it can't drive straight because it's harder for you to drive because they're drunk. Because you know what I'm saying? Because the drinks cost money.
That would be so great.
And then you're going home or wherever you're going into Veveverse, and you get pulled over, blue, and then you got to like show you got to show like a secret rare or something to get you out of the tickets, like a gold family member gold card or something. The cop won't give you a ticket or something,
You crash your DeLorean, you crash your X01 into something. Hey, officer,
how about this? No, how about the DeLorean? It just takes off and the cops are on the ground. It just goes up. That's it. It starts flying.
That'd be great. Oh, that'd be great if they added that utility. Where we're going, we don't need roads. That'd be.
What's up with Storm, bro? With her shot shooting lightning at you. You don't think that's going to come into play somewhere? This is cool stuff, man.
That would be so cool if you have like not a bird type, if you have aerial vehicles that are trying to, you attach something to them and they're trying to be like planes where you could drop it and it's like, and Storm does that. That'd be great.
I mean, do you see Veveverse being something where it's going to be like open mic night?
Yes.
Out there.
There's going to be,
you see that like an open playing field, I say open mic night as an analogy, like in other words, it's like the Wild Wild West, whatever you want to do, or is it more segmented to where, your avatars are not as free flowing, like they all have organizational directions where you got to go into and get into something, or your avatar disappears out of the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think they could do. They'll have their own, like proper events, and they'll have their own. Hey, that we're doing this, but people will make their own things. When we're in the Veveverse and they say, "All right, everyone's here," and this is why it's good to have multiple pieces of land. It could be very hard to have 500 people on one, parcel of land. If you have multiple parcels, it's a lot easier. But also, you could do ad revenue on that as well. But but that's going to happen. Everyone could come in. I can mute everybody except for the person that's singing or doing the comedian or whatever. And then we could have races, and then we could bet where we can't bet like actual currency, but we could bet like master collector points, or we could bet, alligator Lokis or something like that. I think that'd be something.
Yeah, I have some ideas that I had ran by Sean a couple maybe a week ago.
Yeah.
And I've been writing stuff down, trying to simulate ideas and stuff that I might want to do and try to cover all the angles. And Sean's thrown things back to me with respect to ideas and things that, I'm still going through the development part of it.
Yeah.
And he's going to help me out. And I kind of brought him in on it, and I'm going to finance the whole operation. It's just, I have ideas of things that I want to do. And I think it's going to help the community out. But I look at when you go into the Central Land, you go Sandbox, you go into the and you see how it's what seems to be a drone view of the land, it's just plots and squares and with titles on it, Atari and Snoop Dogg, and and that's it. But it seems small. It seems like a small area, for World 1 or World 2, coming 2.0, 3.0. It just doesn't seem that vast. So I don't know, does Veve have a plan to have the capability of housing 1 million, 2 million, 3 million avatars? Because each person has an account, and they have an avatar. They have a right to have an account. They have a right to have an avatar. You know what I'm saying? And
they would have limits on how many could enter one parcel. They would have limits on how many can go and be on one spot.
Max capacity per square block or whatever.
Yeah. That's probably what they would have. And that's why it would be beneficial to have multiple plots of land. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, if someplace like Walt Disney, when he was making Disney World in Florida,
the swamps,
he would have to make like shell companies called like MT Lots or some other company and buy up land, because once it got out that Walt Disney was buying up all this land, then people would buy up land ahead of him and try to just like, nope, you're paying a pretty penny. So
Put
if we know that
put
somebody,
the premium squeeze on them, right?
yeah. So if we know, if somebody knows that, oh, Randy Chavez is buying all this land, let's buy all the land around it. So he's got to pay us a premium to finish it.
Fence people in, fence us in, fence you in. Yeah.
I can get dirty. I can get real like.
Yeah, but I believe in this. I believe in that. Look, everybody that has ideas about doing whatever they want to do is going to prosper however they can afford to prosper. It's the same as a drop. It doesn't matter if the drop is $6.99 or if it's $150 or $400. If people want it, they're gonna get into it. If they don't want it, they won't. Or if they can't afford it, they won't. But when you're dealing with like MC points, and when you're dealing with whales that have excessive amounts of MC points where they got their foot in the door first because of that reason, you can't hate them. You know what I mean? It's not like we're going to hate each other or because you got, you got a first leg up on that property.
No.
But like you said, you're going to put your stamp on, you're going to see Randy Chavez. There's going to be another block out there that might have whoever, another block. A lot of content creators are going to create their own thing and everybody's going to have their own ideas. It's like, and I don't mean to rehash the event that had taken place, squash. We don't talk about it no more with the thing that happened with Foster and that little misunderstanding with Jick and Cavell and everything and all that. But we're over that. That's behind us. But what I'm saying is like that kind of, uncertainty and maybe some jealousy and maybe some, weirdness may come into play because it's still, I don't want to say business is business, but bigger wallets have advantages. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, people look at those people as being like bullies. And when you're looking at a community that's so kind of like all on the same playing field, when it comes to a drop, it don't matter how much money you have in your pocket, you're just as rich as the other person that is next to you with whether they have more than you or less than you, the equal right to get that particular NFT in the drop. So, but it doesn't work like that when it comes to Veveverse. And that's where, I just don't know how, is it going to handle the load? Like, or is it going to be like fully sold out and all the whales are going to buy everything up? And then it's just going to be like the top 1% owns 95%. And then what about the bottom 99%? How are they going to squeeze into 5% of the rest that's available?
Yeah.
That's my only concern, because then the top 1%, what are we going to do? Have like 10 of us playing in a park? That's all. You know what I'm saying? What about all the rest of the people?
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? It's weird. You know what I mean? And like, and it's not even a sense of like bullying or anything but it just has to do with like profits and stuff. Like, what are you gonna do? Like buy it for cheap and then like put it on the market and auction your properties off for like millions of gems or whatever, dollars or whatever, because you got in first and you're gonna squeeze people now. And that this sediment of weirdness, I'll call it, I believe is going to set in, and a lot of relationships are going to. There's going to be a lot of division in this land of unity, let's call it. Unfortunately, you know what I mean. And I know we're all like boys and friends, and everybody's all doing things, and you have a significant following, and obviously a lot of content creators all follow content creators, and they have their own followings and stuff. Everybody's got their mini micromanaged businesses and stuff that they handle. But then we get in Veveverse, now it's like a totally different playing field now. And, I just don't know how Veve is going to, expose the fairness is the best way I can put it. You know what I mean? To make everybody kind of bite from the same.
But at the opposite end of that, how do you get people to stake $50,000 worth of OMI? I mean, you're probably going to have to offer them something really good, because they're not getting APY for that. They could take that $50,000 worth of OMI when previously it was $5,000, and then the 10Xs, now it's $50,000. They could go and they could stake, CRO for 12% or Ethereum for 6%, why would they keep that in OMI and stake it? You're going to need to give them a good reason. And most likely one of those reasons is going to be land. Now, I'm not saying they can get as much land as possible, but they would get the chance, if you're staking $50,000 worth of OMI, to buy a parcel. Now, I'm hoping that they won't have enough for everyone. Even if they did, I mean, what are they going to have? Like 20 million parcels of land just for the people that come in this year? Are they going to make more parcels of land for people that come in next year? I think we have 50 million people by the end of 2023. So, are they just going to keep adding more? I think it does have to be scarce. Again, why are they called collectibles? They don't make a certain mint because they have to be scarce.
But I'm just saying, in all fairness, when you have particular individuals that have the capability of buying, 200, 300, 400 of particular collectibles or comics because of their financial status, does that swing into the Veve verse when it comes to land and or utility? And how does that, like, is there maximums? Like, is Veve setting a maximum amount of land per person? Because look, I'm only saying because, like, when we talk community and when we talk, among us, like we're all, because we could share whatever we have. It's not like, it doesn't matter if you got a better collection or I got a better collection or this one's got a better, this isn't like what kind of contest I'm talking about. It ain't that kind of thing. It's just, we all have what we have and we're all happy and we're all good for each other and we trade and we buy and we sell and we do all this stuff internally and externally. But like when it comes to like nuts and bolts, and it's like, now it's like, we're all like in the stands and now it's time to, we need to really get on the track and we're really going to run this race now. Now it becomes, we're not sharing popcorn anymore. Now it's like, move over. I need my elbow room. For me, that sometimes things, as united as we are, there's some set of division that comes a part of that. I always wish that there's enough to go around. That's why I'm very uptight about when we do drops and we all don't have a chance to have a piece of it. And at one side of me says, you know what, it's just, that's what the way that they set it up and that's what it is. But, when you're dealing with 1 million people, it's like saying, you're the mayor, you're the governor of a state and you have 5 million people, but you only have 1 million bottles. You're only providing 1 million bottles of water. And it's just like whoever's faster that hits the button faster is going to get the bottle of water. You know what I mean? Yeah. You're the one that's providing the water. Like you could make 5 million bottles of water if you really wanted. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not making it water like, people are going to be without and they're going to, but I'm telling you what I see in the market. I see it on Twitter all the time. There's every single day, though we're going up, at the same time we're going down because there's discouragement of people not getting drops. Oh, I'm 0-10. I'm 0-15. Oh, the last 12 I have gotten nothing. Now I just got one. Is that really an incentive? That's really discouraging, not encouraging. So it gets to a certain point where it's like, what do you do? And when you're in the Veve verse, it's like, is it going to be fun enough for everybody? Is it going to be like the top 1% own everything and own the whole entire, like all the arcades and all the land and everything else? And now, okay. Oh, the park is open, everybody. Come on in. And now all the 99% are allowed to come in and spend their money to feed the 1%. That's you know what I'm saying? That's a little.
That's a good point. And I mean, you're right. The problem will only get worse because I'm able to buy certain things because I had a little bit of money and that's left over because I put it all in OMI. What happens when when OMI gets to, 10 cents and I have $10 million or $13 million and I spend $1 million on land? You're right. That problem will only get worse. Although, yes, it will get, and even in life, the difference between the middle class and the 1% does get different. But a rising tide raises all ships, and that works in life because of capitalism and of innovation. But in the Veve verse, maybe you could make the argument that, well, as long as people are buying land, buying these collectibles, as long as you have certain collectibles, whatever ones you have, they're going to go up just because the money that's coming in. But yeah, for the new people that can't get anything, I don't know.
I'm just saying, I'm coming into V. I'm downloading the app. I'm putting $100 in. I'm trying to hit drops. I'm getting absolutely nothing. VVverse comes. I have no MC points. I have no assets. I have no drops. I have to spend $500 to $1,000 just to get a couple of floors because that's the best I can do. I got like 5 collectibles. It ain't giving me no incentive to get into VVverse. Now the door's open to VVverse, and I'm just like, I'm like a piece of, I'm a grain of sand on the beaches of hell. And you, there's like, I don't stand out for nothing. And all I'm doing is just feeding a bigger beast. Who wants to be a part of that? And I'm saying, and that's just one person. Now multiply that times hundreds of thousands or millions. How do you keep, this, how do you hold that balance in the wind? I mean, like, especially when you're looking at it like from a drone view, like when you're looking at Decentraland or Sandbox, you're looking from a drop down. What happens if you've seen, like say 100 or 200 parcels of land, and like this section of 10 are all Randy, this section of 10 are all Mr. Pag, this section of 10 or 20, you know what I'm saying? Like when there's only like 7 or 8 of us, and we own like 40% of the whole entire freaking block. And like, it's like now it's not VVverse. It's like Henryverse. You know what I mean? It's like Randyverse. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that, and it's not like, they're going to be enough fun, but I'm talking about like, it's like the way that we kind of look at like old timer Rockefeller, Rothschild, JP Morgan's, and the guys that like kind of wrote the book in the beginning of the, say, late 18th century, 19th century, 20th century, there was the early times,
the monopolizing of everything.
Right. They just happened to have that kind of capital and the resources and the political side of it to get that, to own those big, lots and blocks in those areas. And everybody else, they were the 99%, and they just fed the bigger machine. And that's how I don't want to say that's how I'm kind of seeing it, because I believe there's a silver lining to every cloud, right? But I know the facts. We're getting MCP points. Only certain people are getting them because you have to fit certain criteria. And it's not like, the more the merrier. So the more points, the merrier you're going to be. And then the people who have bigger wallets are going to have more money invested in the app for the, to get the first come, first serve type thing. So what happens when a couple of us, start to clog up the system? I want to look. It's just like being in. I think we mentioned this before too. Look. If you were in a like in say Detroit, where there's blocks and blocks and blocks and nobody there. If you opened a supermarket, you'd have the only supermarket. You'd be a monopoly in a supermarket. But because no one lives there, your business wouldn't make no money. You know what I mean? It'd be a monopoly for you because there's not a supermarket in like 10 blocks. So you put one there, you'd be like, yeah, I'm the lockup. There's no supermarket in 10 square miles. But guess what? There's nobody living there either. So it's like kind of, this is just me. I always play devil's advocate.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I like to see things from both sides of the fence.
Be brought up.
Yeah.
I think maybe because VVverse, I think land will only be part of it. I think that you will have, and again, just because we own the land doesn't mean we, other people can't use it. Like if I own, let's say 100 parcels of land, I'm going to rent out probably half of that, and for very, very cheap. Because why? Because if I have that just for future, whatever, and somebody that says maybe they can't afford, $1,000 for a piece of land, but they can afford to rent it out for $50 or $1 a month or $20 a month, whatever. Well, $20 a month times 50, that's still $1,000 a month anyway.
But talk about capitalism. But you're talking about being the biggest. You're like BlackRock right now. You want to be the biggest landlord in the United States, bro. You're thinking about, it's okay. I'll own 100 land. I'll just rent everything out to everybody. Don't worry about it. I know, but but when they look down, they're going to say, "This is a Randyverse here. I don't want to be. I want to be in VVverse. What happened? I don't want to rent. I don't care if he charges me $1 a month.
Yeah.
I don't care. I want to own my own house."
That's true, but again, like when you go to play what do you call it? When you go to play laser tag, you don't bring your own equipment. You go and you rent out the equipment that's there. When you go and do axe throwing, do you bring your own axes? No, you go there. Like, so people will have their own collectibles that they'll bring, but their base of operations as they set up will probably be on somebody else's land if they can't have one of their own. And if they go and they do that, or maybe they do have, maybe they do have something for us and something for everyone else. Like, hey, here's all the premium properties, that are by the water or that are around, the Veve-verse or that are around whatever. And then there's, 8 million parcels of land out there now, which aren't around anything. Now I'll still go out there and build like a racetrack. I'll make an oasis in the middle of the desert. I'll buy stuff if they have an ice type thing. Why? Because I like ice type Pokemon. That would be great for Elsa. That'd be great for Sub-Zero if we have Mortal Kombat. So I'll go and get a bunch of those as will other people. But maybe that's a good solution, to be able to have that premium land for the rich and then the rest of the land for everyone else, which everyone can buy anyway. Because even if they do a blind box for it and somebody gets, they pay $100 and they get a super premium spot of land. Okay, well, that's the lottery. They won the lotto. They can go and get $10,000 from one of us or $50,000 from one of us to buy that land.
Greed is a son of a bitch, though, man. It just sets in. You know what I mean? And it's so unfortunate, because greed in all sense of the word is good. And Gordon Gekko said that.
I think Qui-Gon Jinn said greed can be a powerful ally as well. Yeah. So. But Mr. Pags, I'm going to have to bounce. We've gone about 3.5 hours. I thank you so much for your time.
You're a machine, bro. You're a machine.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Goodbye, everybody. See you later. Bye, Dashy. Goodbye, Dashy. That's not there.
Peace, guys.
Good night, bro.
Good night.